Lefty podcast. What's good? We left you guys yesterday. Didn't really jump in. Personally, I was busy. Left. I was running around helping my parents out.
That's right.
Barbershop stuff. And then by the time I got home, I was like, you know what? We'll just do it on Saturday. We'll connect with the fans for a Saturday morning show. Brought to you by ONORA Whiskey. ONORAWhiskey.com, that premium American whiskey, ONORAWhiskey.com. And if you drink, by all means, make sure you do so
responsibly.
You got to do it responsibly. CFB Nation, presented by Twisted Tea.
Yeah.
Hey.
And get like that.
Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Daily, we give you audio edibles. Go lock in. YouTube page. Subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you smash the like button, notification bell, and then also, share. Let everybody know. Lucky Lefty podcast. Left, what do? We
spin
it different. Only as lefties do. So let's start this out. This is our Notre Dame Weekend Review show, but we want to set this up because we have a special guest. We actually have a couple of special guests that are going to jump in today. I believe Big Bro Oscar McBRIDE is going to join us in a few minutes. I believe Big Bro Reggie Brooks is going to join us in a few minutes. So this is going to be a fun show. And we might be doing this in the off season, dude. Really getting the legends to sit down, just chop it up. So you're not just going to chop it up about life in general. And I want to bring Owen on the conversation we had pre-show. Because we both are jealous of O.
That's right.
As brothers, let's be honest. We're jealous of the dudes with the full beards. We can just go ahead.
Yeah.
Man, we jealous of the dudes with the full beards, man. Because there's so many things we can do, right? So let me share this, right? Let me share this. I went to the barbershop with my brother. So my brother's beard is fuller than mine and darker than mine. You see, I'm doing the salt and pepper. You know what I'm saying? Push it real good right about now. I'm not ashamed of that. It's all good. But my brother's is nice, black, and full. And so now they have this thing. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, my brother, MALIK, he's gone from, having his hair, the look he had.
J. Cole unkept.
The unkept.
Deep starting five.
Yeah, the unkept. And then, he went from that to, just having the professional look when he was doing games for CBS this season. That's right. Now I look up, and this dude, he went full fade mode on, right? Full fade. So I was telling him I was at the barbershop, and my brother's barber was like, yo, I'm going to give you the double lining. And I was like, the double lining? I'm like, yo, what is this? So the double lining, people, is like, they give you the lighter lining up top. And then as it goes down, they give you a more darker defined lining going down towards your beard. So I see Big O in the background nodding his head. See, Big O, you must know about this, bro.
And that's that beard fade, dog. That's that beard fade. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's right.
Fade that thing down till it gets full and thick on the bottom. That's how we roll, man.
See, I got mad jealous yesterday watching my brother. Mad jealous. Like, come on, man. And we also want to bring in our other big brother, Reggie Brooks, onto the show.
What's up, fellas?
What's up,
Ready B? What's up, big bro?
So
you enjoying retirement, huh, Reggie?
We're in a public space, man. We got to be careful now. Huh?
Oh yeah, I know. I got. I got you.
So
it's not just us.
See, Reg has chosen to just do the clean look. See, Reg just chosen clean up top, clean it up on the beard side.
All gray. All gray.
Hey, I decided just to grow more on my face as I can't grow it on my head anymore. So, I just flipped it from the top to the bottom, dog.
Just let it all go.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Oh, man. So, I'm going to tell you guys, we want to talk Notre Dame and weekend review and some of the things that have happened within the program and get the take from guys that have been through the program and are still connected to the program. But I want to start this off. The motivation really for bringing you guys on is, I don't know if you guys know, but I was talking to Left. Left was talking a little trash this week, right? So we're gonna start the show off with a little Notre Dame era trash talk, right?
Oh, wow.
So I was watching. I don't know if you guys watch Shannon Sharp and Chad Ochocinco have a podcast called Nightcap.
It's hilarious.
And
It's great.
Hilarious.
Chad actually told Shannon Sharp, our 2005 Bengals squad would kill your 98 Broncos squad.
Oof.
And they were going, I mean, dude, Chad was like, man, y'all can't stop us. Steve Atwater can't do nothing with me in the slot. And I mean, they were going back and forth, right? So
except break your back.
Right. So look,
I had a run in with that dude.
Oh yeah, tell us about it. Tell us about it.
I'm in Tampa. This third, fourth year. I'm in Tampa, and he didn't get me though.
Mm-hmm.
He tried, and I mean, he tried to kill me.
Yeah,
because he will fill that alley.
Ooh.
Come on, it was our attack. Boom, had a counter play.
Ooh.
Boom, broke it up. I saw him. That's why I said the best asset a running back can have is vision.
Yes.
Your vision is imperative, because if I did not see this man, no. I mean, he was coming with bad intentions.
Yeah, for sure.
And
yeah.
You had that patent and spin move though, Reggie.
Yeah,
You had that.
Dude, I saved my life. I know I saved my life.
He tried to Christian Okoye, hit you with the Christian Okoye.
Yeah, but see, I'm not Christian Okoye. I don't have that good girth.
That's right. Yeah.
And this, I mean, he came like he was coming downhill
to hurt you. He was coming to hurt you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was like, again,
he was different, man. He wasn't one of them cats that was just trying to make a tackle. He was trying to.
It wasn't just him though. I said the guy that got me, and to this day, I've not, outside of maybe Reggie White, this man, Ronnie Lott hit me my rookie year, and I just laid down and jumped the sideline and was just like,
as a grown man, you had to lay down on that one.
I was like, I was thinking about life.
Yeah, you had to reconsider some stuff, bro.
A lot of stuff, man. I've never been hit like that in my life.
Oh, this is rookie year, and you the whole time.
He was, and he on back end of his career. He was with the Jets at this time, and he comes barreling down again. And I blame our running backs coach. So our running back coach Don Bro, he's on my head all week. Because, like I said, I'll jump in there, boom, get outside and get to the sideline. I just step out.
Right.
And, it'll wind up being like, 2nd and 3, 2nd and 2. And this was like, it was a second down play. And it wound up being like third and 1. But I stopped. And this was my fault. I was halfway in, halfway out. I didn't commit.
Yeah.
I didn't commit. But all I heard was Don Bro in my head talking about, get that yard, get that extra yard. I halfway went in there to go back inside.
Yeah, you half-heartedly went
yes,
back inside.
There was no commitment. There was no commitment on my part. And if you're not committed, it's not going to go well.
Yeah, you got to commit. Yeah.
Dude, he hit me like he wiped me off of the field. I was just like wiped off.
Yeah.
And he hit me, so I was like on like where they had the benches. I was way out over there.
Yeah, you waited.
And I just laid out there, and I was hurt. It hurt so bad that I was just numb.
Yeah.
I just laid down.
It's just one of them shocking hits.
Yes. I was, my body, my brain, everything was in shock.
Yeah. I had one of those too, bro. But mine wasn't Ronnie Lott or Ray, but mine was Levon Kirkland. Remember him?
Oh.
Bro.
Dude,
you got a linebacker that's 6'3",
270.
No, bro. He was 285. Because remember, him and Eric Green was about the same size, but Eric was playing tight end, right?
Oh my goodness.
We played him in
that 3-4.
Bro.
We scrimmaged
bro.
Pittsburgh every year when I was in Washington. We scrimmaged Pittsburgh every year. This dude, no, like that is illegal. That should be illegal.
Look here. Your boy almost
he
turned.
was a 3 technique playing linebacker, man.
Bro, I almost turned my stuff in on the sideline. Like I look. So we had like a load play. You know, we run, you know, the you know, pin and pull schemes. If there's a bubble, I go up to the linebacker, right? Yeah, you know, like right. and what the Cardinals had me doing, Dave Atkins. I blame Dave Atkins. He was the offensive coordinator, bro. My job was to put my head on his upfield knee. Now, if you know anything about LaVon Kirkland, from the waist down, he was 245. At least. He was 245 for the waist down, dog. Look, I come in there at the time, I'm like, I'm 246. You know, you slim down when you get to the league because it's a track meet, right? Like I didn't have that Notre Dame 260 on me, so I come in there at 245 with some narrow hips and throw my stuff in there on his thigh. Look, bro, my whole body just went numb. My whole. Bro, and then he just looked at me like, "Come on, A7, stay up. We in the league, brother."
Yeah. He trying to encourage you to hit him.
I can't even respond, bro. I'm on the ground like, Garrison Hurst come up to me. Hey, dog, you good? I can't breathe. I can't see.
Oh, Smokey.
Look here, man. Look, it was. I came to the sideline. Dave Atkins looked at me. You all right, 8-7? I didn't want to talk to him, bro. I was so mad. I was so mad, like, bro, that you're the one who said head on the upfield knee. I hit this man in his thigh, and my whole body gave up. Whole body was done. Dude. So, needless to say, the next time homeboy came in, we was hand fighting when we ran that play.
We hand fighting. Yeah, we
was putting my head on. Hey, I'll take the minus. You know what I mean? I'll take the minus.
Yeah, you know you
just
like,
I know
I messed up,
man. No.
Okay, try like your pass pro. We're practicing, and you can't cut in joint practices. And they ran that 34 defense, and he's coming up right in the A gap,
full speed, bro.
Yeah, step up there and stop and stuff that.
Nah,
stuff that. Yeah.
Go ahead, Brooks. Get on in there and lock that up.
Yo, you right though, Reddy. He was a 3-tech playing linebacker. He had the nerve to wear number 99. Yeah. Like, bro, what are you doing, bro? What
I'm
is
like,
that?
Yeah, y'all need to kill this. Because I'm telling you, next time I'm cutting his big ass.
No, straight up. You have to. You got to.
I respect the game.
Yes,
but that's not right. Because again, if I'm not blocking him, I got to block outside.
Well, that's Greg Lloyd out there. So.
Yeah, you know it's on the outside.
Right, he got Kevin Green on the other side.
Yeah.
Man,
that's crazy.
My rookie year, we're playing. Like I said, we played Philly twice, the Giants twice. And I will say, LT is a super grown ass man. He can do whatever he wants whenever he wants.
Super grown?
Yes.
Super grown.
I mean, again, all these young Thundercats, these cats out here now, LT he did what he wanted when he wanted.
Yeah.
We had an all-pro defense left tackle. He couldn't do nothing with this man.
All pro mean you the best of your position.
It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. No. It wasn't enough, dog.
I said I ran into we played the NFC East, so we had New York, had the Bills, so I had to go see your boy Bruce Smith, and I cut him. No, I cut him. Ooh. That was a mistake. That was just a mistake on my part.
Yeah, I had to cut him.
All you saw was two bloodshot eyes for the rest of the game, and he was looking at me.
Yeah.
Through the helmet, and he's like, "I'm coming for you."
Yeah.
He'll like, "I don't care about that." I cut him, and
I don't care about where the ball is.
I cut him, and he didn't go down. First of all, let's get that clear.
You had a failed attempt at cutting him.
Yeah, and he had that knee issue.
Yeah,
I wasn't trying to hit him in the bad knee, but I got to get him down.
Yeah, you try to play. Yeah, you just try to play.
He was not happy. Not happy.
Yeah. Hey, Tony Tolbert got me.
Bennett.
Yeah. Tony Tolbert was terrible too. So my rookie, we played
Eric
Dallas.
Swan.
Ooh,
Eric
bro,
Swan.
look, Well, I got a Swanee story for you. Appreciate this, Reggie. So we're in training camp up in Flagstaff, right? I'm a rookie. I'm undrafted. I'm trying to make the team. You know what I mean? Like I'm hitting anything that move. We do an inside run. Okay. The ones is in there. You know, I got, you know, my little rookie little cap on my head over there, and I'm standing on the sideline. So Ed Cunningham, who's I think an analyst now for CBS or ABC or something, or at least he was. Ed was the center. Dave Craig was my quarterback. And we had G. Hurst playing running back. So we're an inside run. You know, it's all run. So as a defensive guy, you know what's happening. So there ain't no read step. You
ain't
just
nobody dropping back.
Yeah, you downhill. You know what I mean? I'm like, man, you setting us up for failure. So
yeah, no read pass run on this. Is
none of that, bro. So look here. I'm over here with me and another couple rookies sitting on the side. I think it was me and Frank Sanders. And I saw Eric Swan on the snap of the football take Ed Cunningham with his left hand. And I think it was an outside zone or maybe it was a power play. I don't even remember the play. All I remember is Swanee took Ed Cunningham with his left hand, pushed this man back into Dave Craig, into Garrison Hurst, and tackled all three of them at the same time, including Ed Cunningham. So you want to talk about really thinking about life? I'm like, look here.
I know y'all had to practice against that.
He tackled two dudes that didn't even have the ball,
yeah.
bro. Like what is this man? You know, get up and do the little swan, you know, like do a little, you know, his little dance. And I'm like, who? Because I didn't know Eric Swan. You know, I'm in the Midwest. I'm at Notre Dame. I don't know nothing about what's on the West Side. I'm like, who is that? And can I stay away from him, please? Because that was the most amazing. Like Ed at the time was like 280, 285. He's just starting center in the league. You know, Dave was older. I think Dave was in year 16 or maybe 17 at the time. You know, and G. Hurst was like in year 3, going into year 4. So
G. Hurst came out together.
Bro, look here, man. I've never seen a guy tackle 3 dudes on one play. And my boy Dave Atkins,
he tackled me on his back with one hand. He just reached up on. He got knocked down. He was on his back. He reached up and grabbed my jersey, and I just stopped.
Yeah, once you got.
There's no. That's not an arm tackle. He's just like, I'm just gonna take you and body. That I'm. You know, I admit I was decent. You know, I had a little shake to me, a little speed.
Yep.
I stopped immediately when he grabbed me and was like, and he's on the ground.
Bro, when Swanee grabbed you, you for sure grabbed.
Yeah, that dude has some just ungodly strength. I mean,
and fast and strong, man. Like I remember watching him in the weight room, power cleaning 315 like he was doing curls, bro. I was like, what is that? Where did that come from? You know, this is the
you know who's like that?
Mid-90s.
Reggie White.
Mid-90s.
That's Reggie White, man. That was him. I left Washington, go to Tampa, and so we got to play Green Bay twice.
Yep, black and blue, baby.
Yeah, that was. and Reggie White is the nicest. He was the nicest dude ever. Yep. He would bless you after he smacked you. I had a problem with that. I love Big Red. That man was just the most beautiful human being. Yeah. But on that field, I saw him do that hand smack to the head and literally just drop a lineman to the ground. And then I'm not blocking that.
Bro, that club was something serious.
Yeah. And he took our guard. I mean, I'm like, no. Like literally just I'm like, you can't do that to a human being. That's illegal, right? I go to cut this dude.
Oh, he hurdled you, didn't he?
He hurdled me. He's like 320 something and just jumped. And again, this way I didn't go down. I wasn't cutting ankles. Thigh high. Yeah. I went and Tony Nathan was the running back coach at the time. I came on the sideline expecting him just like, what are you doing? And he's like, no, hey, bro, ain't nothing you can do with that. I was like, okay, as long as I'm not the only one that feels like that. T. Nate was like the man. And It's like you can't be 320 something pounds hurdling human beings. You just can't do that. And I just what he did. I'm just glad he never really hit me like that. Like he hit at our tackle.
Yeah,
he got Herb one time. Went down the line and put in work on each one of our linemen.
Hey, did Herb tell you about the time he got him?
No.
Oh my God.
Oh, tight end. I'll see.
Bro. Herb said he hit him with that club, bro. Herb said he said, ow.
Wait. That Herb Smith said he said, ow.
Yes, bro. Yes, bro. Herb said he said, ow. You know, Reggie had that raspy voice. He's like, oh, come on, Herb. I ain't even hit you that hard. Come on, Herb.
Dude, he called me up in the off season trying to talk like we cool. I'm like, no, dog. I'm sorry. I still remember what you did. And I mean, he would call you up and like preach to you. And I'm like, you are a good man. I know you are, but right now I'm not there yet. I've not made it past what you did to my whole offensive line.
God. Oh. Man, some of them cats was crazy, man.
Oh my God! I mean, great people, but like Hardy Nickerson was another one. When we played
Tampa Bay,
Hardy was on my head. Again, much respect to him. That's my boy to this day. Yep. But when I was in Washington, he was in Tampa. I hated him.
Yeah, Hardy was different. Yeah. Hardy was different. Well, like his name said everything you need to know about him. Hardy.
So who hit you the hardest during a Notre Dame practice?
Chris Orch.
Really?
Brian Young.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't know B.Y. came in as an outside linebacker.
Yeah. And Chris came in as an inside linebacker.
Yep. So did Jim Flanagan. So did Oliver Gibson. All them guys came backers in my class, bro.
Oh, no. I will scratch that. It would be OG. This actually had me looking at the side of my ear hole. I'm not even joking. And it's Coach HOLTZ's fault though.
Hey, it was messed up, bro. It was
okay. Now you gotta understand, like our inside run, I mean, it was gonna be a fight.
Hey, live no tackling. Live no tackling.
Live.
No tackling.
What does that mean? Live no tackling. How do you come up with live no tackling?
That didn't mean nothing to Demetrius DuBose.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Zero.
Ooh.
So we run a play.
Tell the story, Reggie. I'm weak.
We run a play, and the
left guard.
Left guard. It was AT. Oh,
it was AT, dog.
So AT owes me. He owes me. He owes me part of my life because I probably have some neurological damage from that. So AT messes up, and Joe Moore is like going to put in the backup left guard. Coach O's like, no, damn it, his ass won't do it. We're gonna play this without just we're gonna play with 10 men. His ass didn't do anything anyway. And we're running, we're replaying the play. We're running the same play.
Oh my God!
Everybody knows where the ball is going, and we're not
set up.
We're without a left tackle. No left tackle. OG.
So by the way, Coach HOLTZ has been known to do this.
Oh yes, yeah.
That's like.
Oh yeah.
But the crazy thing about it, we ran the play like we good. We don't need it. We can run this play without a guard, and we're gonna be fine.
OG lined up as a 3 technique where the guard would be.
Nobody over saying, we supposed to be boys, right? And I ain't saying we didn't glad hand each other. You know, you play, but damn, bro, you know there's nobody on your head, and you just tee off.
Yeah, full speed.
Full speed.
Oh, he hit Reggie so hard, dog.
Full speed. I am looking out of my ear hole. You can ask OG to this day. I still ain't forgiving him for that.
Hey, it's true though, man. Reggie's helmet was over here.
Yes,
he was looking out his ear hole, bro. Like it's
not. You know how people exaggerate that stuff?
Nope.
No exaggeration.
It's a real thing.
It's factual. Factual. I'm looking out my ear hole, and I'm just hot.
Coach Ho said, that's what it looks like when your ass is in there anyway.
he's over here cussing out Aaron Taylor. I gotta pay the price for 18.
Oh my God. Yeah, he got you, dog. He got you good.
Oh my God. I mean, like, dog, I mean, I'm not saying we like, you know, homies, but we boys.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I'm not saying take it easy.
Right.
When you get up, you don't have to run through me.
There ain't nobody up there blocking you, bro.
There was nobody. You don't have to run through you don't have to run through a brother.
Wasn't nobody slowing him down.
No, like he got there at the same time as
the handoff.
I was handing the ball off.
So Reg, what did you had to do something to OG that week leading up to practice?
No, bro. That's just OG. Man. That was just OG.
Like you just know that hey, if he gets the opportunity, he's gonna let you have it.
He gonna take it every time. He ain't gonna be like had no context.
None.
And be like, okay, I understand it's real.
And off the field, we good.
Chill.
Off the field, he'd be like, what happened, bro? What's wrong?
Man, look.
Hey, Left. I gotta ask Reg to do the Lou Holtz to Aaron Taylor one more time, bro. What did he tell Aaron? What did he tell 18?
He's like, get your damn ass out of there. This is what it looks like when your damn ass is in there playing. I'm like, so I gotta pay the price for you being this man.
Yeah.
I will say this though, based on what happened to our offensive line under Coach Moore, I was the beneficiary of that. So I'll take that hit and be okay because that never happened. That's what you got to understand. To get hit in the backfield,
nope.
That was not allowed. Double team,
nope.
And Joe Moore loved me and Jerome. He loved us. Like we come down and man, I mean, our offensive line took a beating. I mean,
look,
Reg,
I'm about to draw something on y'all. Something I've never admitted. There's something I've never admitted publicly. I wasn't the best tight end, right? I mean, I could block, I could catch red zone. I wasn't fast. I would have been probably an All-American tackle, right? When Coach Holtz came to me, he's like, we want to move you to tackle. I lost weight, right? I wanted no parts of what Coach Moore was doing to the linemen all practice long. Because it was bad enough when me and Irv and Derek was over there doing one-on-ones, you know, with the linemen. You know, when it was time for, 7-on-7 or pass Skelly, we was out. We was like, hey, we'll go run decoys.
Yeah, doing the blocking.
It was bad, man.
Hey, I will run this seam route knowing good and well we ain't in the read instead of being over there doing one-on-ones and crab crawling all practice, bro. I'm telling you right now. So instead of having a 15-year career, I had a 2.5-year career because I didn't want to mess with Coach Moore. Like I made a decision about my neck and my shoulders in my life. A part of it was what I saw my freshman year. We're playing at Pittsburgh. I know you remember this, Reggie. We're playing at Pittsburgh. Reggie's playing corner. We go down. We score. Gene McGuire was a 5th-year senior. Gene was a great offensive lineman. Played center, played guard, played tackle. Gene played everywhere for us, right? We score. I'm standing next to OG. OG and I came in on the same trip. That's my boy. We score a touchdown. We're at Pitt, which obviously that's an emotional game for Coach Moore, right? Man, Gene come trotting off the field. Coach Moore met this man at the numbers and hit him with a right hook right at the waistline. Bow. And I was like, oh, I'm like, did anybody else see that?
After a score.
After we scored a touchdown. So I'm like, man, what happened? Like, OG, did you see that? He's like, man. He's like, that's y'all offensive stuff, man. I'm like,
he's like, I don't know about that.
No. That's not it. That's not it. Like, Coach Moore used to go in, bro. And it wasn't in the meeting room when he smoked a pack of cigarettes in the meeting room during the meeting before we got onto the field, bruh, I was like, nope, I will be a decoy all day long and block power and counter and 58 wall, 59 wall till the cows come home. Thank you very much. No, thank you. No, thank you.
Now, you mentioned Reg. Reg mentioned, once again, Lucky Lefty Podcast, Shaun Davis, Malik Zaire, with our two special guests, Notre Dame legends, Reggie Brooks, Oscar McBRIDE. Right here, we spin it different. You mentioned the relationship you and Jerome had with Coach Moore. I've witnessed myself during Harry Heastand's time, the relationship that he had with the running backs at Notre Dame and how they would talk about different plays. And I always, that the first time I really start, covering Notre Dame, I was like, yo, that's very interesting that the O-line coach would have this interaction during practices after each play with the running backs. But I guess it makes sense to be able to tell the running backs, like, yo, what did you see? This is what you should see. This is what we're trying to do. This is how you should attack it.
Yep.
And I guess the great offensive line coaches, that's what they do. They have great relationships with their linemen, but with the running backs as well.
Yep, 100%.
And it made it so easy for us because we knew that our line didn't have to talk to each other. They just, they were on the same page, and we were on the same page because we knew this is how the blocking scheme will be this, but also the ability to adapt. So if something happens, we're on the same page. If, like I said, if somebody crosses somebody's face, I know how to react to that because I know what the response of their offensive lineman. But I also know, again, we would practice against 12, 13 people and have like 9 men on the line.
100%.
This is practice. And they had to block everybody.
Yes, sir.
You
had to block everybody. So, yeah. So at practice.
So wait a minute. Clarify this for everybody that's, for our listeners and everybody's going to follow this in the coming weeks. You're saying on defense, you're only supposed to have 11 on the field.
Yeah.
They would put 12 to 13 guys on defense, and then you guys would have 9 guys on the line.
Got to figure it out, man.
You better get them blocked.
Got to figure it out.
Like I said, if you got a reach block on, you better reach 2 people.
Yep.
Reach them both, block them both.
Got to come with it.
So it was like when we got to the game,
that was so easy.
That was easy.
It was so easy.
I mean,
like we knew like my favorite play was 58, 59 wall because that means the tight ends have a reach block. So they call that play in the huddle. I'm looking at Reggie. I'm like, hey, get my hip.
Yeah.
Get my hip.
I know my point of attack, and I know Big O he's gonna make that block. Yeah. I never looked at like 1 technique, 3 technique. I get a pre-snap read, see where the defensive lineman is. My eyes are always on second level, linebackers and safeties.
Yes, sir.
Because I know that first line, the down lineman, I block.
He has no chance, bro.
I never even look after when the ball is snapped after pre-snap read. I just need to know where they are so I can know how they're gonna block them. And my eyes immediately go to the next level to see, okay, hey, where are the linebackers and safeties? Because I never even considered being hit. A double team, if a double team got split, that was not gonna go well the next day.
Look here. The next day, what do you mean? You come off the field, bro. like Coach Moore is on the sideline waiting for you, bro. Yeah. Like waiting for you.
I remember he gut punched Jordy Halter.
That wasn't a gut punch. That was a kick to the chest, bro.
Oh.
That was a kick to the chest.
That was a different one, though. He gutted him one time, though.
He gutted him one time, but bro, one time, this was my sophomore year where I was running 2s. Jordy was playing right tackle, and I forget what the play was that we had messed up. And it was obviously Jordy because Coach Moore was standing at linebacker depth. I'll never forget this as long as I live, man. Coach Moore standing at linebacker depth with a cigarette in his hand. Get in your stance, Halter. And I'm tight end, so I'm right next to this man. Get in your stance, Halter. And Jordy's kind of like he wasn't sure because Coach Moore was stutter stepping like he was getting ready to blitz, right? Jordy got in his stance. Coach Moore came from like 4 yards deep and kicked this man in the chest. Boom! Now, mind you, I'm a split. Oh, I'm 3 feet, 2.5 feet away from this man. Petrified to laugh. Petrified to laugh. Now I'm hearing Rick Meyer and Irv behind me trying to hold it in as Jordy's laying on the ground after taking Coach Moore's size 9.5 in his chest. It was different back then, man. Yeah. It was different. It wasn't just
bad because I benefited. I averaged over 8 yards a carry.
That's insane.
And that is not because I was that elite. I was good, but we created another line of scrimmage every time.
Hold up,
Reg, you selling yourself short.
Hold up, dog. Hold up.
You selling yourself short, OG.
Ready, B? You was elite.
Okay,
you was a dude.
Now, like I said, like Coach Moses would say, hey, you just give me that first 3-4 yards, and then you can do whatever you want. Yeah. Now, again, but I just did what I was supposed to do with that first 3 yards because they created another line of scrimmage. We would always push the defensive line off the ball 1.5 yards to 2 yards. So I'm making cuts at linebacker depth by then. That's the first thing I'm entering. And that was always my thing is like, hey, just make sure if you go down there, because one thing, if I get tackled anywhere inside the red zone, I will never touch the ball again because it's going to go number 6. So that's why I said I had to score from long distance.
Hey, 60 trap is the thing, bro.
Yeah, but also I didn't want to have my linemen because again, you don't want your linemen shouldn't have to run more than 30, 40 yards. Man, so and they should be running up to get ready for the PAT. Yep. As I said, if I'm gonna break it out, I need to get that thing to the end zone. So the big fella, they don't need to be doing too much running.
Bro, there was so many things though to that point, Reggie. There were so many things that were a part of that, bro. Like, you know, there was the pride of the guys that had come before that had won the national championship. There was, you know, the level of commitment that Coach HOLTZ always talked about, trust, love, and commitment. There was the fact that we were so stacked. If you messed up, next man up, your job was gone. Like there was no do-overs. And then obviously there was that fear factor, man. Like you were afraid to your job hinged on every single play when you were a lineman and a tight end. Like it didn't,
you cannot make a mistake.
It was not allowed, bro. It was not acceptable for you to not make your block or to have mental error, like missed assignments, not knowing who to block, not knowing what route to run. It wasn't a thing. It wasn't a thing.
It just wasn't acceptable. And also you had that much love for your teammates as like, I can't let this brother down. They're counting on me. 100%. And this is whether you offense and defense. I don't recall being on a tighter knit group. Because again, we still have that same bond to this day.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I'm like, I know I can call if I'm out in California and I don't call call up Big Oscar or freaking Steve Berline, anybody. Man, I'm gonna get foot to ass.
Yeah, I'm talking cash, bro.
And it's like, and not only that, but our families. Like it's so cool. Like I said, you know, you see, and our kids see it. Yeah. They're like, "Dang, why y'all?" I mean,
how much pride do you guys have? Because it's not your sons, but when you see Jim Flanagan's son commit to Notre Dame, when you see Bryce Young commit to Notre Dame, how much pride do you feel? Oh, yeah. You know, you talk about that brotherhood. That has to hit you guys.
That's nephew. Like, go to the game.
I know when because I'll be watching Jerome's son play because he told me, hey, they played the state championship in Georgia. Mm-hmm. Hey, you know, you can find it on one of the channels. So I'm gonna look it up and watch it. But I was like, I was telling little JB, I didn't even say nothing to Jerome. I was like, man, when you gonna go ahead and make that move?
That's right.
You know,
that's how you recruit.
When I talked to Big Bryce Young, when I saw him at it was the Hall of Fame induction, he's bigger than his daddy.
Bro, look,
No,
I'm
he's
telling you,
Oh, Lord.
Hey,
bro,
hey,
I was at BY's crib in 2021 when Bryce was 9th grade going into his sophomore year. Okay. You know, we out there going, we went to Duke, you know, my son was, you know, doing the recruiting, you know, camps and stuff like that. So we, you know, we in Cackalack, BY's like, come through. So we come through, have dinner with him and Kristen. He out there on the green egg. Bro, Bryce was barely 6'1".
Wow.
Okay, so this is the summer of 21. When I see him at the spring game in 22, this man is 6'4", 220 pounds, running a sub 23
He
200.
runs a 200 meter.
Yes, bro. Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah, but
You
people,
know, I was a track guy.
here's the thing, bro. People forget that his mom was an elite track athlete at Notre Dame.
She was on the track team.
Yes, Kristen was lovely.
And every time I do, because I was an administrator for the track and field program, I was like, I ain't calling BY. BY can say, I want our alumni, the track and field alumni. You will want you talking about an OG. Ooh. Shoot, they had a relay group that that really, because the women's track wasn't official until 89.
Right.
So she came in when it was just getting started as a varsity sport. And
her Latrice Potter.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So, and it's crazy. Well, and I gotta say, because like I said, we talk about our kids, like Oscar's son.
Yeah.
Every time I see him, I want to choke him out. Because he always give me, but he knows, like if he needs something, he knows he can pick up the phone and say, "Hey, Uncle Reg."
100%.
Because I mean, and that's the thing about it. It's like, you know, having that ability to cross generations, to have that connection. Say, hey, if somebody's out west, hey, I'm gonna call them and say, hey, look out for so and so. My son, my nephew, anybody. And it's rare. But again, we gotta find a way to get back to that. Of, you know, and it's hard because everything now is so much money driven.
Yeah.
You know,
everything.
And again, I'm all for these young cats getting paid, but it's more important for them to develop those relationships. Of these relationships you develop in college. That's what's going to carry you through life, not through a NFL career, but through life. So 30, 40, 50 years later, you know you got these guys that got your back.
Yeah.
And they're going to look out for you no matter what.
For sure.
Yo, so Jeff Burris talking about Bryce. Jeff Burris told him, we interviewed him, and Jeff said, man, look.
He's pretty boy.
He said I tried to get on Bryce early. He probably he tried to get on Bryce when he was like a freshman.
Yep.
He was like 6'1".
Yep.
And he was like, yo, he said, I was talking to BY and I said, man, you think I got a chance? And BY looked at him and was like, hell no.
Nah, bro.
He's like, no, he's not coming to the Raging Cajun. Sorry. That's not happening. And Jeff was like, hey, I tried to get on him. And he was like, yo, the player he's become, he was like, man, you know, he went straight from saying I tried to, man, I'm so proud of that dude. 100%. And you could just see the brotherhood just beaming out of Jeff as he started talking about him. It was like, yo, this is like, because I've probably been around Malik's group of guys more than you guys in person. Like I've talked to you guys, but I've been around them in person. And it's the same thing. Like the brotherhood is absolutely amazing to watch.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. The relationship was forged in fire though, man. We was all babies. You know, like I turned 18 the week before I left for Notre Dame. You know, Cub and AT and Tom Carter were still 17 when they got to Notre Dame. So we was babies.
That 90s class.
Ridiculous. Our two classes, bro. 93 and 94 was on something different.
Yeah. But that 90 class that came in 90 was because they talk about the greatest recruiting class in Notre Dame history, and they would always talk about that, that the group that won, that never lost back in the 40s. Back in the 40s with I think it was like Lou Jack and that crew.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. No disrespect, but this 90 class, I mean, just you go across the board and every position they had a dog at every position.
You talk about that 90 class, JB was part of that class, right?
Yeah.
So one of the greatest dudes, this is one of the funniest stories. He said, dude, we're number one in the nation. I think Gary Darnell was the DC, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, my
at that point in time.
Yep.
And he said, dude, we're going on the road to face Tennessee.
Oof.
And he said we had, I think both of our starting defensive backs were injured.
Mm-hmm.
He said, me and Willie Clark were recruited as running backs. He was like, you have to understand this. We were running backs.
Yep.
100%. He was like, dude, we were deep on the depth chart. We were like 5th, 6th on the depth chart, dude. He's like, think we're all Americans.
Bro, Reggie wasn't even that. Our freshman,
that running back corner. That running back. Hey, you had to do whatever you got to do to get on the field, baby.
Dude, so he said,
running back fit?
He said on a win, he said he'd never forget. It was a Tuesday night. There was a knock on his door at like 10 o'clock at night. He opened the door, and it was one of the GAs. Like, Coach HOLTZ wants to see you. He said, dude, we're getting ready to go play Tennessee on the road. It's Tuesday. Tuesday of the game. He said, we walk into the practice facility, and Coach HOLTZ is like, both of y'all playing defensive back this week.
Yeah.
And he said, we spent the next 2 hours working on back pedal. But he said, dude, by Saturday, both of us played on the road against Tennessee as the number 1 team in the nation, and we won the game. He said, we didn't play a lot of man. We played majority zone. He said, dude, this is Carl Pickens. This is Alvin Harper. This is Andy Kelly. He's like, dude, we didn't go up against scrubs. He was like, dude, I was terrified, but I was ready.
Bro, we had so many dudes in my freshman class who came in and actually play like people don't remember Greg Lane.
G Lane
started against Michigan, man. G Lane started the opening. Lake Dawson started.
Look at. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Tom Carter started week 2 against Michigan State. Like there was so many.
Tom Carter first round, Jeff Burris first round, Aaron Taylor first round, Brian Young first round, Jerome Bettis first round. You had 5 first rounders, and of that group, 3 Hall of Famers.
And here's what's funny. Here's what's funny, bro. In the common era, in this day and age, Tim Ruddy would have been a first round pick because he was the first pick of the second round at 31.
You look at that from the offensive line. Then you got Flan, Beat Wild on the defensive line. OG.
Yep. You got Cub at the secondary.
Anthony Peterson at Bursage at linebacker. Like I'm telling you, at every position,
Clint Johnson at the slot.
They had a dog.
Yep.
Lake D. Now, Lake D was the most dominant, fiercest receiver.
Hey, Lake
Bam Bam.
Lake had to be the biggest trash talker on the squad.
Bro, Duloc was soft spoken.
Duloc, he wouldn't say nothing. No, he would just put hands on you. Dude, I've seen him take safeties and just like drive them into the ground. Like I had like some of the like longest runs. It wasn't. I mean, the offensive line got me the second level. Our receivers,
blocking downfield.
Lake Dawson, these guys were blowing people up. And I ain't talking about just kind of getting in the way.
Right.
I'm like, these guys would like dog them out, like take safeties and just drill them.
Yeah.
And
well,
I said,
back in the day, we could cut. Back in the day, we could cut downfield.
Oh my God.
So literally, Skip would have bags down, like pop-up bags, like 10 yards down the field, and the receivers would run and throw. No different than Coach Moore had the linemen and tight ends. Like, there was literally cut drills in practice. And I know Coach Mose had the
Coach Mose, he had this thing called the gauntlet. It was this mechanism we would have to run through.
Mm-hmm.
And they had these arms that would be like chest high and then at just a little bit above the knee. And you had to explode through there. And it depended on how tight they had it ratcheted. If you go in there like I did when I went on the sideline,
you can't go in there like
because first time I went through it, I didn't know what I was running into. I got ejected.
Yeah, because those are heavy. They stiff.
I hit the thing and flew about 5 feet back and was like, "Whoa, what is this?" And but we would run through this gauntlet every day, and I had it ripped the skin off your arms and your legs. Especially that's how these pads. They were not pads. They were like barbed wire, if you ask me. I mean, and every day we're hitting these things. That's why I said when we got to the game, running through
the pad was wrapped in tarp.
Yeah, you just boom, blow right through it. And it's just the physical way of, that's what we had to play physical. And I want you to go back to, you were saying that my man, I'm always down with Lucky Lefty. I'm a lefty. He was saying something about eras.
Yeah, see, here it is, Red.
Yeah.
Here it is. This is Notre Dame fans. It's about to get fun. I'm going to sit back. I'm just going to throw the alley-oop and let these Notre Dame legends go at it. So I'm talking. I gave you the intro with Shannon Sharp and Chad, and they were arguing about whose team would kill who, right? Because, of course, in the 90s, more run heavy. The Broncos were run heavy, offense, with TD. Right. John Elway was towards the end of his career. Shannon was kind of in the prime of his career. And then Chad was like, yo, we had Chris Henry, we had TJ Houshmandzadeh, we had me. What's Rudy? What was the running back from Auburn? Rudy Johnson.
Oh, yeah, they had Rudy Johnson. Rudy Johnson was nice for a little bit.
They had Carson Palmer. I think they had Corey Dillon too, right? It was Corey Dillon too, right?
Corey Dillon, DeHoney Jones.
Right. So they're arguing. So I called Left. I said, Left, I'm listening to these trash talk. And I said, people don't know. Left trash talks more than anybody. And I said, Left, I can actually see you around your OGs in the Notre Dame family trash talking, saying, man, our 2015 squad will give y'all the business. And Left said, oh, we would give all of them problems. And I said, oh, we got to get this on the show. He said, yeah, we'll be tough to deal with. So I said, okay, I'm gonna get everybody on, and we're gonna talk about it. Because the 2015 squad, look, I remember Brady Quinn earlier this year said, this is when Notre Dame was undefeated. Like, man, this is the most talented Notre Dame team I've seen in a while. And I had to call them out, bruh, this team is nowhere near.
Brady Quinn is working for TV too long. He's losing that touch, that eye. He's losing that football eye.
I said, this team is nowhere near. I said, I'm not even going to go back to the HOLTZ era because that's not even fair to talk about talent level. I said, they're not more talented than the 2015 team. If you really look at it. I said, so.
You talking about this year?
This year, they're not. 2015, if you look at that roster, dude.
Yeah. So who is BQ talking about? What team?
Brady Quinn said this year's team was the most talented team he has seen in Notre Dame in a while.
What?
And I said, Brady.
Whoa.
Come on. And Notre Dame fans got mad at me for coming at Brady. And I'm like, look, I'm just being honest.
Brady can't. Okay, look, just take his group. You had Jeff Samardzija, you had Anthony Fasano, you had Raymond McKnight and Maurice Stovall.
Right.
And they were throwing that thing all over the place.
Yeah. I was so jealous of Anthony Fasano. I'm like,
dude, they had. I mean, you. So what? And then okay. Only reason I said the 215 is because again, defensively, okay, they had some issues, but offensively, too. Come on, man.
We had some guys.
No, I remember that.
Because we had up front.
You had to outscore people because
but think about it though. Up front, we had the talented offensive line to compete with any era.
Yeah,
no doubt.
No, that hands
so
down.
So then you go from that, and then you just go off of that
all time.
Yeah. So we can definitely,
and I had some dog offensive line. But Nick Martin, Zach Martin, Ronnie Stanley, Mike McClinchy,
Hugh Nelson.
What, bro?
That's a line. That'll get you going a lot of places.
I would admit that, but I will say this again: when you come to go throw way back, it is something different when, like I said, when you would hit somebody. It's all how do you respond?
Yeah, that's fair.
Because it's because Coach Holtz always say, hey, if somebody gonna smack you in the mouth, what you gonna do?
Yeah,
that's when you find out what you're made of. And that was our thing. He made sure we got smacked in the mouth in practice. So when you got hit in the mouth in the game, that was just like, oh, so this is how this game is gonna go.
Yeah, but bro,
that's probably what we're missing from this team this year.
We're practicing All-Americans though, man. Like as tight ends, I'm trying to block Devon McDonald.
Oh, this dude was 6'4", 245 with 3.5% body fat.
Bro, like it hurt. Like to
with
block
3.5% body fat.
I'm not even exaggerating.
Bro, shredded.
3.5% body fat.
Bro, his muscles have muscles, bro.
Yes.
His muscles have muscles.
And the crazy thing about it, because he was a year ahead of me. And we're just talking, Devo and them, they're from Jamaica. He had a twin brother that was at Pitt.
Ricardo.
He's just like, we were in the huddle just talking. He's like, hey man, I kill you, man, and go back home. Nothing happened to me, man.
Yeah, see, that's all I needed to hear.
He said, like, nothing happened?
Nothing will happen to me, man. I go back home.
Like, yo, bro, watch it.
Like, why did he say that?
I don't know.
No,
but he had like so many, dude. Like we were deep though, bro. Like even Dr. Brian Radigan.
Oh,
play outside.
Brian Radigan was all right back in the day.
I love Rats. There's no way. I mean, and he's one of the premier orthopedic surgeons in the country. I could not let him operate on me. I just couldn't.
Wait, hold on now.
He was my class. I just know stuff that's like, I can't see him operating on me.
I see what you're saying.
I know this dude. I know some of the stuff.
Wait a minute.
Do I really want his hand in my body?
You just gave the disclaimer.
It's not logical. It's not logical.
You just gave the disclaimer. One of the best in the world.
Yes,
bro.
But not for you.
I couldn't let him do it. And I'm not even exaggerating. He is.
It's because you just know who he is. Like you just know.
I say,
yeah.
I can't let you. You can't put your hands on me.
Relationship, dog.
He couldn't convince you,
bro. To everybody else, he's Dr.
He's got to refer me.
He's Rats.
Rats has got to refer me. He knows it. I told him. I was like, Rats, you got to refer me. I love you, bro, but you got to refer me to somebody else. Just kind of.
I understand. No, I understand fully what you guys are saying. Like my crew from college, it was like seven of us. Somehow, some way, 4 of us became pastors.
Yeah.
So it's like in that setting, we can't even take each other serious.
Nope.
It's like, dude, I know way too much about you, Sam. I can't even take you serious right now when you're talking scripture. I can't even take you serious right now.
I can't even, I don't believe you.
I know too much. Right. So I understand.
It's not personal, and there's been a lot of growth
Yeah.
I just remember stuff like, no, we're good.
So it's just the stuff. It's just who he is that you know. You like, I just couldn't see you doing that on me.
And the thing about it, I would let him operate on any of my kids in a heartbeat.
Sure, for sure.
Just not me.
Nope.
It's not. It's not. I mean, it just
So,
you do it.
Left, you have to convince me, Left. I love the 2015 squad. You know I do. You know I think the defense was better than they actually showed because of the coaching. Because of the coaching.
Yeah, period. No doubt.
If they had the defense was there. Talent wise.
Talent was there.
Okay, I'm sorry. The fact that you had Joe Smith had to be on the field. Because no one else
have to be on the field
but him. Because that's how crazy the defense.
Oh, yeah.
Joe Smith was also, you got Notre Dame got their token players that just gotta be there,
No, he had to be there to get people lined up.
If that was the case, the point total wouldn't be what it was all season with him being there.
Okay, what happened?
Joe being on there communicating means the point total looks like this year's team.
When Joe gets
where you got JD Te'o out there.
As long as you didn't have Joe exposed and Stanford exposed it.
Yeah.
Because again, tight ends he would have to cover.
Right.
You'd have to cover up the seam, and he was not fast enough to do that.
Right.
But he got guys in place. I firmly believe, Jalen Smith was able to do what he was able to do because Jalen, and I guarantee you, Jalen will tell you, he didn't have to worry about getting other people lined up.
No, Jalen did what everybody was playing off of Jalen, but that's your best player.
Because Joe was getting people lined up, because I remember him turning around telling the safety where to go.
Yeah,
and I say that to say that defense was so complicated in the scheming.
Yeah,
instead of just letting those guys go play.
Yeah, that's
Left,
what Red
say. Left, didn't you say the cornerbacks could call checks in that defense?
Yeah, it was more scheme. Definitely didn't help. But then again, you talk about talent. I think if we're just talking about putting the most talented guys on the field at the time, Joe wouldn't be out there in the comparison. He wouldn't be out there running against the 88 team. No.
If you could just let those guys line up and go play, big difference.
Yeah.
Big difference.
Yeah.
My thing it's like you look at that group, and again, because you could expose them though.
Okay. So how would you guys, I'll let Left go last, but how would you guys go at that 2015 team? Like they had a great offensive line. So how would you attack? We're talking about Will Fuller, Chris Brown, the wide receiver, CJ Prosise. Like they had talent at running back, Torian Folsom. They had
CJ wasn't the best receiver.
Josh Adams was the freshman at running back. Yeah.
It starts with the offensive line. With our defensive front.
Starts with the offensive line. That's exactly where you would start all these conversations. Can you hold up there?
No, I said how you attack them though.
Mm-hmm.
Because the one thing about it, like I said, Brian Young, Jim Flanagan, Devon McDonald, then you got Carmel McGill outside, because we ran a hybrid defensive front with the our guys were just release the dogs.
Yep.
Now, again, I all those guys up front, ballers.
Yep.
But there's a difference between talent and just straight up dog.
Right. Right.
Physically, I don't, with the concept power, because I've seen BY, I don't know if there's a guy that up on the offensive line that can handle Brian Young.
Not one-on-one.
Not one-on-one.
Well, that's a first round guy. But at the same time, we had guys on that same offensive line that hasn't given up a sack all year.
Yeah. But
True.
I'm sorry. The guys that are playing in the league now, and again, I talked to some guys that are coaching, they don't have the same, they're not as fundamentally sound as what used to be.
Yeah.
And
I mean, these kids, these pro kids now are like 22,
right?
21. You know, they're young. They, you know.
Yeah, and like I said, you have some guys again when fundamentals come into play. I think again, there's you look at the guys that we had again across the defensive line. I would put up that defensive line against anybody. As great as that 2015 offensive line was, I put our defensive line up against them. But the thing is, what was the one thing our guys are receivers? They got off the ball. It's a lot different. It also kind of depends on which rules are in play.
Yeah, right? That's true.
That's my only now because again, I would like Tom Carter was 4.3, Jeff Burris 4.4, Cub was 4.4, 4.5, G Lang was, and Bobby Taylor, he's another.
Yeah, Bobby was high 4.4.
And these guys, it's something different when somebody put their hands on you.
Yeah, man.
And I look at like now, if you I don't even know what they call. I don't even think bump and run exists because people will go up, like they're gonna bump and run and just let them come off the line unless G Lane, that boundary corner, he gonna put hands on you.
Yeah.
Tom Carter. Yeah. Could athletic.
But you gotta think too, y'all haven't seen RPO offense,
True.
But
I will say this, and again, this happened to me. We ran an option against Willie McGinnis in USC.
Oof.
And if you know how to play it, you fundamentally sound, you can, your quarterback is quick to give the ball up, like Rick Meyer did.
Yeah.
Like literally, Willie's faked at him and ran. And I always look at Willie, and he's kind of similar. I mean, better, but Devon McDonald, like I said, comes to mind. Are guys that we had outside linebackers.
But then you talk about style too.
Yeah, style is. But
285 linebackers. I don't know if they chasing us around.
Demetrius Dubose is running you down, bro.
Yeah.
Demetrius is running 4.5. He's running 4.5 in the middle. He's running 4.5 in the middle. He's bench pressing 400 pounds. And he's leg sledding 1,600 pounds, and he's smart as hell. He's gonna get there.
He does. He was a quarterback.
Then the better matchup then is 2012 because that was when the last time Notre Dame had a 250 plus skill linebacker core. Even the corners were big.
No. Okay. Did you see that Alabama team that walked out? Because a bunch of us was there.
That was a different team. That was a different. That was a different collection of men in that time.
A bunch of the guys that I came out with came to that game. A lot of the guys from the 88 and that time, and literally, and this was like no exaggeration. Like everybody, when Alabama came out on the field, we all looked at each other like,
"Oh boy,
this game is over."
Yeah, this game is over for sure. I think anybody on TV.
But my thing is this: that's what we played against on the regular
every day.
So that was a common opponent. So it's like when you physically play against a team that is that's the one thing. We lost to some games, but we never physically got whooped.
Right.
That and there's a difference that you can lose a game again, mental errors, turnovers, allowing big plays, mistakes in there. But if you physically get dominated, that's the line that we never were allowed to allow someone to cross. You might win a game, but physically,
we was gonna hit you.
You gonna feel us.
Yeah,
Reg, let me, because you just really made something pop in my mind. I think this is right before you got that. So maybe this is something you were watching while you were being recruited or getting ready to make your decision. Is that 89 game? And I want to tell you why this popped up, Reg. Is that 89 game against Miami? The one game that all of you guys say we really should have kicked their tail. Because a lot of people, because Coach, it's been known and said that Coach HOLTZ kind of pulled the reins on you guys going into the game because he didn't want the same thing that happened in '88 with the fight in the tunnel and all of that. If he had just let you guys go play, because it was 10-10 at halftime on the road.
Yeah,
Right.
It wasn't like Miami. You just said it. Miami wasn't physically like pushing y'all around. It was 10-10. They hit the big third down conversion.
Yeah, that fourth down actually.
Fourth down, right.
Yeah. Fourth and like 30 something.
Yeah,
but it was the pregame.
Yeah.
So coming into that game, and this is my freshman year, and we're coming in on the bus, and the old Orange Bowl was in the hood.
Yes, sir.
And the Miami fans were definitely different. I mean, we're driving up and they throwing stuff, cussing us out. I see this old woman in a wheelchair throwing us the bird. Like, I'm like, what is this? And the reason we stopped playing them is because they were beating up our fans in the bathrooms.
Yeah.
And
hey,
so,
Reggie, is it true? Is it true somebody poured a cup of urine on one of the priests?
I wouldn't doubt it. They were throwing stuff
was like that.
Coach Moore got hit in the head. That's why we had to wear our helmets.
Yep.
The whole time we couldn't take our helmets off because Coach Moore got hit in the head with something, a can or something, and I mean they had to go get stitches.
Yeah,
it was. And so we're out there, and again, you're in a hostile environment.
Yeah.
Our response is we might not start nothing, but you damn well better believe we'll finish it.
No doubt.
And so we're in the stretch lines, and I think this is coming from when back in '88 when Miami tried to run through the team, and we were like, no, we ain't having it. And that's where the fight emanated from, was when they tried to run through to get into the tunnel to go back.
Oh, they tried to run through y'all.
Yeah. And they was like not having it.
I remember watching that.
But it was actually the fight in the tunnel in '89 with USC in mid-October that precipitated what happened in Miami when Coach HOLTZ, they ran through us in our stretch. We're stretching and they're running through talking all kind of noise. I mean, trash talk, like real. And again, Miami was known for that.
Yeah.
And we couldn't do nothing. He said, if anybody moves, I'm yanking your scholarship.
Yeah.
So he neutered us before we even got out on the field.
Was that pressure coming from the administration though?
Yes.
Okay. Because that doesn't sound Coach Lou. If he could be himself.
No, exactly. But
Coach wasn't no punk, man. Coach was
right.
He caught a lot of hell after that USC because it was starting, I think it was an article came out in Sports Illustrated or something talking about who are the real convicts. And there was just like, oh, well, what is Notre Dame becoming?
Right.
And, and it kind of, that's where it really started the whole perception that, okay, who is Lou Holtz bringing in here? Because you got to understand, we had the guys that came that I was in school with, these were not, prep school kids.
Talk about it. Talk about it, OG.
Kids.
No, you talking about your class you came in with?
Look, bro.
No, not just my class. Bro, so from 80,
my class
from
has
87, 88, 89, and 90, Notre Dame had the consensus #1 recruiting class in the country. Yep. And I'm talking about.
Do you think that can still exist if social media didn't exist?
No.
Nah.
The stuff that was happening back then.
No, I'm saying could the recruiting be the same if social media wouldn't be around? Like, you think we could have recruited Notre Dame in 2023 how y'all did in '87?
No. That's why I feel bad for these bro.
Because Notre Dame does it for the optics. So it's not like they really.
What y'all have to deal with in this day and age, because again, like Oscar said, he came in at 17.
Yep.
You're a kid. Y'all can't spit on. Y'all could. I watched it. I mean, I worked there at Notre Dame when y'all were coming up. Y'all couldn't spit on the ground without somebody in your face.
Yep.
Dude,
we took pride in being secretive. Like,
we couldn't let that stuff out. You keep that. You keep it in house.
Keep me on the quad. I'm putting
the drama. You go out there. We went out there all suited up, before the game.
Mm-hmm.
But God, we had cats from Detroit. like inner city Detroit,
Florida,
like Broward-Dade County, Florida.
Yep.
Like Jersey, like Trenton, New Jersey.
Oh God.
We had cats from the 5th, 9th Ward in Louisiana. And see, people think they're just hood brothers from the hood.
Y'all had them wardies.
We had we had a bunch of them, Texas, Houston, BT, and then we had some hillbillies, like
that's the hillbillies.
Yes, from West Virginia, Tennessee.
I can testify. I drove Malik. Malik was with me up here. I drove him through Bryant Young's neighborhood. Yeah. I'm like, yo, this is where Bryant Young comes from, dog.
Like
it's the hype.
Lee Beckton,
the hype.
Arnold, T. Rice from South Carolina, and people say about Jeff Burris. He's a pretty boy and all, but JB, he got some hood in.
Don't let that McDougal boy.
And wasn't just the brothers.
No, everybody.
Troy Ridgely.
Stony,
crazy. I mean,
shout out to Stony on his induction to the Hall of Fame.
I'm telling you now, if some of the stuff, Scott Kolakowski, if some of the stuff got out before, it's been a bunch of guys being.
I can imagine the stories surrounding Stonebreaker, Stams, Kolakowski, Pritchett. I do.
Oh my God! I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's
look, we was in Virginia with them 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, Reggie.
And,
they still wilding.
They still going. They ain't never forgot it.
Okay,
Brett, am I lying, bro?
Literally,
am I lying?
When they come back, like when they would come back for reunions, they would like, hey, you gotta, set some parameters. You gotta keep under control.
Yep.
Because in 08, it was 25th reunion, and 25th reunion of the national championship. Dude, I'm literally there on. This is before they really. You couldn't you could be on the field, and there was no place for them to go. You had to be on the field, otherwise they got late. Man, these cats was like getting so hyped, they was about to run out on the field.
Yeah, man. Yeah, they
different. They run on the field.
They were trying to run out on the field, and I had to get my security folks like, hey, this is what I need you to do. Because you got to remember, a lot of these guys weren't allowed, like I said, when you played, you were the tailgate.
Yep.
Man, most of these brothers found out tailgating.
For what?
Woo!
Bro, I remember the first time I came to a game after being done playing, and I saw the parking lot. I was like, "What is this?"
Yeah.
And my wife was like, "Oh, this is normal." I'm like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "Well, you never saw it, but this is what tailgating looks like." And she said, "Actually, it was a lot more people when you played because y'all never lost."
And
bro, it was
they were going hard.
Like, bro, we could see, like on Wednesday, we go into practice. They had like the green tarps around.
Yeah.
You could see the tops of the RVs with the Notre Dame flags and smell the brats cooking on.
They were rolling in on Wednesday.
Bro.
On Wednesday, bro.
Left and I were walking to go to the. We were there for the Ohio State game.
Was bad too.
And we were walking towards the stadium, and I'm looking at like 80-inch screens.
Bro, it was
with generators, and I'm like,
no, they definitely tailgate in the updated version of what you. They technologically they got it now. They comfortable.
Bro, it's crazy. It just blows me away, man. Like and you know what? Let me say this: the cool part about being from Notre Dame, I had a buddy that was a big time UCLA fan, and going back to the Samardzija and Brady Quinn era. When Samardzija catches that touchdown at the end of the game to beat UCLA, which is the game we should have lost. Like we didn't play well, but we figured out a way, right?
Not a way to win.
My buddy from out here in California, he goes to the game. He been talking smack all week to me. UCLA gonna put it on. They gonna put that thing on, and we end up winning the game. So I wait a couple of days because I know it was a sore spot, you know. So I reach out to him the following Wednesday. I'm like, hey, Greg, sorry about that loss, man. He's like, the hell with Notre Dame. I'm like, yo, bro, like, come on, man. He's like, we good. He's like, you know what? I hate you guys. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, you right. Y'all probably should have won the game. And he said, that's exactly what I'm talking about. I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? I just said y'all should have won the game. He was like, if this was USC, nobody would have said that. After the game, I'm walking out. I got all my UCLA stuff on. And what do I see? I see Notre Dame people out there tailgating, and they invite me over for a beer and a brat. I was like,
he forgot about that. He forgot about that.
That's what we do, dog. Like, hey, once the game is over, it's party time.
Yeah, once
like,
the game over, the game over. Yeah, we on something else.
Bro, he was hot. He was hot. He was hot. He was.
That's
so
because
mad.
Notre Dame people have stuff that they have a life. You know, they got stuff to do after the game for real. Like he's like, okay, we can be intense, but we got stuff outside of this. We got, you know, you come hang out. It's fun.
He was mad. Bro was mad for me like a month. Like, bro, come on, let it go, fam. Like,
you know, because you know some of these fan bases, they got to go home and listen to their wife they don't like. They go home to their small little apartment. You know, they go home, don't want to take care of their bad kids. You know, all of that. They don't see success when they go home. That's why they get upset when we just so cool out
there. Name or you hate
There's
no in between.
I want to thank you guys because we're about to go to the second half of the show, Notre Dame fans. I wanted this ND era conversation to happen because Malik, when he said what he said, I was like, oh, I got to get the OGs on. And it was a great breakdown of how both eras would go with each other and the respect that you guys have
for
each other's era and teams.
For sure. Definitely. But let me drop one more dime on you before we go. Okay.
Oh, we're not done. We're not done yet because I want you guys to talk about the what's been happening in the last week or two.
But let me talk about the comparisons. Malik said something a while ago. He was like, you know, talking about the things that they did offensively with RPOs and spread offense and all that type of stuff. We were a top 3 offense in the country, averaging over 500 yards a game, and we ran eye back and split back veer. Rarely did we throw the football unless we had to throw the football, right? So you knew what was coming and still couldn't stop it.
Okay,
like we're going to run power. We're going to run power. We're going to run counter. We're going to run.
So you saying just pure physicality, just straight up and down, no fancy stuff.
Bro, no chaser. No chaser, bro.
We get to the end of the fourth quarter. We would literally, our offensive line would come out and say, hey, we running right here.
Yep. Okay, but that's like saying David Robinson and
Tim Duncan.
Okay, David Robinson and Tim Duncan playing against Steph Curry and the Warriors.
Yeah.
With the 3 ball. Yeah, you guys will put up some points, but you got to outscore the 3 ball. Well, that's the same kind of comparison. The speed of the game is different.
What you forgetting about that David Robinson, Tim Duncan era is they had some dudes on the perimeter that could lock that thing down.
That wasn't the strength of their team.
You got Mario Ellie out there. You got Big Shot Bob out there on the perimeter, bro. Like we were gonna match up. We were gonna match up. But all things considered, let me say this: man to a man, and me being like now as a high school head football coach, man for man, the talent was evenly matched. Man for man, talent was evenly matched. The schemes, completely different. I agree.
Right. That's where it comes down to. That's what it comes down to.
Well, what I was getting ready to say is that it doesn't come down to the scheme. It comes down to 2 things. It comes down to execution.
True.
And it comes down to physicality. And we win that, bro. We win the physicality war all day long.
Down.
Hey, Left, you know I love you, dog. Y'all my boys. All of y'all. I rock with y'all like in person. I love y'all cats. Y'all have become brothers to me. And look, you know what I went through this summer? It was the 15 crew that was reaching out. Like, yo, you good. So The love I have.
Hold
for
on,
the
we getting a
15 group-
couple of personal foul penalties too. A bunch of roughing the passers. We getting some of them. So you got to tack on y'all penalty yards at the end of the day. By the way, y'all gonna have more penalty yards than us, but for sure.
That is
For
true.
All I have to say is, as a Notre Dame fan, if I needed to win a game, I'm trusting Coach Lou over Brian Kelly.
Okay, but that's
I'm just
easy.
keeping
That's
it- hey,
easy.
that
Come
matters.
on. Come
That
on.
matters, though.
Come on.
That matters. I'm just saying that matters.
What to his point, he's talking about scheme.
Yeah.
Y'all got that defensive court. I keep forgetting his name.
Go on, Van Gorder.
Yes.
Man, listen.
You can't ride with him.
Now he can
You cannot ride with that man.
because of y'all scheme, it'll be a lot different for him than it is trying to him match up with these spread offense.
No, it wouldn't.
Mm.
Because he gonna have y'all defense so, dude. Okay, check this out, and you'll like this. Oh, have you ever seen a gap move?
I mean, on the snap.
You mean like on a run, like a run scheme gap move?
Yes. These cats didn't know what gap to hit because they were trying to track. Well, if this player does this, if they motion, like a motion will kill that defense.
Yeah, you can't play you can't play if then with us.
No,
can't do that.
Because when the ball is snapped, you got to react.
But you forgot, we practice for military academies every year. Every year, not missing gap. We got to play that discipline stuff.
Come on, Left. That you compare that
from a discipline, not from a
respect to the
physicality.
academy.
We more physical than the Army schools, but I'm saying from a discipline standpoint, you got to play gap sound football. Van Gorder was good at that.
No, he wasn't, because I can't remember how many times guys were thinking instead of reacting.
That's true. Okay, that's the individual player for sure.
That guys can't just go out and play.
Yeah, if you think you stink, man. The coach Holtz used to say that all the time. If you think you
gotta
stink,
move, you gotta know, you gotta play. That's what I said. I look like the defenses they play now. It's a read and react.
Yeah.
If you read and react, but you're not thinking,
right?
And that's what I said. Because Joe Smith had to be on the field because he could get guys lined up. Because literally, I would see it if someone would do a motion.
Mm-hmm.
Even a short motion,
that
defense would freak out.
Yeah, man.
Because the gap would move.
Yeah.
And they're trying like, well, he moved. How many gaps did he make us move to?
And we coming out in 12 personnel with me and Derek and me and Irv, we come out in 12 personnel. We got Clint on one side, Lake on the other side, or maybe it's T Smooth, maybe it's Derek and Irv. There's gonna be some issues, man. There's gonna be some issues, dog.
Big O, you say 12 personnel to Notre Dame fans now, they almost despise.
No idea what it is.
They like, oh, Notre Dame's coming out in 12 personnel again.
22 personnel.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
32.
Oh, stop, Oscar, stop.
P6 14, P6 15. Bro, what? Good luck. Good luck.
And we
14 and 15 ice, man. Stop it.
All day.
Man, we got Reggie
dare
Brooks,
you to stop it.
Oscar McBRIDE, Lucky Lefty Podcast, Malik Zaire, Sean Davis. We spin it different. Weekend review. Hey, I want to go back. This might go back a little bit further. We can review. Last Saturday, I gave my final words on the situation. I'm done with it. But we have some OGs in the house. We have to start with the firing of Chancey Stuckey. Reg, you're closer than most of us in proximity to the program. And like you said, you worked there when Malik was there. Just, the fallout, the actual firing, how Marcus Freeman handled it as quickly as he did.
Yeah.
The feeling it gives you about what took place, and then the fallout of the transfers we saw from that room. Just give us both you guys. Like, what are your thoughts on what happened with that situation?
I'll let you go.
Hey, Reggie, let me go first because you probably have a bit more insight. So, I hear certain things no different than everybody else, and if what I was hearing is true, Coach Freeman had no choice. He had zero choice to do what he did. I think it was a lapse of judgment on behalf of the coach. And if you're trying to run a program like Notre Dame that has so many expectations, spoken and unspoken, I feel like he had no choice. As I said, I said in a tweet last week, head coaches make unpopular decisions all the time, but you make those decisions based on the best interests of the program and the direction, the vision that you have. Would I have liked to have seen Coach stay? Yes. But given the situation, I don't think Coach Freeman had a choice. And being a head coach myself, even on the high school level, I had an issue this year with one of my coaches, phenomenal defensive coordinator. Guy did a hell of a job for us. But there were some things that happened that I couldn't get around, and he stepped down. So, in this day and age, kids are going to leave, and their why, may have been because they were going to be a part of that scuttlebutt and the blowback from it. I don't know that it was because of some loyalty to the coach. I think that it was self-preservation for them, to try to keep their reputations intact. So from my perspective, I'm still riding with Coach Freeman. Yeah, it didn't work the way we wanted it to work. Kids have way more choices than we had back then, way more options than we had way back then. So from my perspective, it is what it is. When one door closes, another one opens. At the end of the day, as Coach always said, we're Notre Dame and they're not.
Red?
I have to agree with Big O. Again, I don't know what transpired. I did find it, kind of perplexing when, just not even 24 hours before, he said he wanted to keep all of his staff. So something had to have happened because, again, I don't know Marcus extremely well, but I do know him well enough, and the type of man that he is, he's not going to make a decision like that lightly.
Right.
So that's, again, and I, having that confidence in my understanding of what I've come to learn about him as an individual and the respect that I have for him, I'm going to respect his judgment because at the end of the day, it's 100%. He's the head man because it all falls on him anyway.
No doubt.
You got guys that are sitting there will say this, that, and the other.
Right.
And let's be honest, like I said, how productive was the receivers this year? They were more productive than they were previously, but and I had the chance to talk to Chauncey when I was there, when he was there. I think he's awesome. I've also had the chance to talk to Dylan McCullough, the running backs coach. That dude, love that dude. And like I say, he's someone that I can talk to on just a general level. And like I've spoken to, Coach Freeman and Al, because Al Golden was he was at Penn State when I was at Notre Dame.
But you've seen, okay, for instance, you talk about Dylan McCullough. You loved him off the field, thought he was great. But that same person you met resulted in the room being how it was. So for me, it's like Marcus Freeman don't have too many choices in this position. Right. I think a lot of it is that the fact that he's getting these taps on the shoulders. He's
100%.
getting these closed doors meetings.
Yeah, man.
Where it's almost him being backdoored at the same time as them promoting him to be the face of the program. So somebody got to relinquish it and let it be like he either gonna do it or he's not gonna do it.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, Lefty. It's Notre Dame, bro.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. It's Notre Dame, bro.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't work like Bama. It doesn't work like Georgia. You know what I mean? If you're a head coach of Notre Dame, you do not have carte blanche.
No.
There's so many, you talk about taps on the shoulder, man. This man got full on, arms around his shoulders, man. Like, you know what I mean?
It's just too many weird things happening that shouldn't happen for a guy that's just starting out. Right. I mean, it's only his third off season. We didn't had questions about who he's hiring, questions about how guys got hired, questions about how he coming in. And
does that.
assistant offensive head coach. What is even that title?
Look at Nick Saban. How long has he been in the game, and how many people were questioning him hiring Tommy Rees?
See, but Nick Saban's at a point where it's like Nick Saban's just he's shopping at the top of the chart.
It's not even about where you're shopping. It's the fact that people are going to question. You got people out there like that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're willing to make those decisions,
but Nick Saban don't got an answer to a lot of people though. That's him and Marcus Freeman's status in that building.
Understand this. Different. Understand this about Notre Dame. It's not just Marcus that has to answer. I mean,
right.
Okay. I want you to do this. Do this. Take a picture of Jack Swarbrick when he first got to Notre Dame. Take a picture. Find a picture of Father John Jenkins when they first came to Notre Dame. Yep. And it's been about the same. They were the same period. Yep. Just 10 years. Take a snapshot then.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's different. So
everybody has somebody to answer to at Notre Dame.
This man Marcus Freeman was at the White House, so he was out there suited and booted at the White House for all these other, for whatever reason. But then it goes down to the question: if you had 5 years to coach, would you take your chances at Notre Dame, or would you take your chances at a school like Bama or LSU? Because that's what it comes down to.
I'm going to take my chance at Notre Dame, because if I leave Notre Dame, I can go anywhere.
Well, we know the Notre Dame stepping stone. I'm talking about, would you take that under that fire that Marcus Freeman is taking? Because I feel like a lot of people don't want that situation because of all the things that you don't know you got to deal with.
But think about it. That shows you the type of person that's all I'm saying. The type of person it is. He took on that role.
Yeah. You can be a fool now.
Yeah.
No, because again, he transitioned from DC to head coach.
Yeah.
And his OC was already in place. He didn't have a say on that.
Right.
But how do you be a head coach and not have a say? Where else in college football does that happen? Okay, that's a
you're at Notre Dame.
Where else at college football where you don't got a say on your coach?
It's Notre Dame, bro.
The Ivy Leagues and the academies.
Yep.
But it's like, then it comes down to, are we really trying to win a championship, or are we trying to just maintain a certain
we're trying to win a championship. We're trying to win a championship the Notre Dame way.
Yeah. That's what we always come down to. It's a choice. We don't want to win it like the conventional way. We gotta win it in this.
Yeah, that Notre Dame, like that Notre Dame way, bro, trumps everything, and we all know that. Like even as a player, like in the things that are expected of you to do and to go and to show face and represent the university, like you're not gonna have a guy like a Nick Saban get in front of a press conference after you've done something that's not, Notre Dame friendly. You're not going to have a coach stand up in front of you and say, hey, look, he's a kid. He made a mistake. You guys are trying to pretend like you didn't make those same mistakes at 20 years old. You're not going to get that at Notre Dame. You're going to get, we're really sorry that this happened. Hopefully it works out for him in the future. That's what you're going to you know what I mean? Like there's zero tolerance. There's zero tolerance for certain types of behaviors and certain things that you do at Notre Dame, whereas maybe at an LSU or a Bama or a Georgia, those things are going to be like, you know what, he made a mistake. Let's give him another chance. You don't get that.
Let's not act like Notre Dame don't pick and choose they times
let me say
Notre Dame.
For sure.
Because they got a lot. They ain't no different than Bama. They ain't no different than Georgia.
To that point, that's why it's what we've been talking about: the importance of relationships, the ability to show grace to this group. And that's what I said. That was one of the things when I was working there. I was always conscious of that. Hey, when I was doing the radio show, that's why I'm a big fan of Ryan Clark, because he said, I'll critique the performance, but I'm not going to critique the human being.
Right.
And that's what, that bond that you guys have in your era, like we have in our era, that's not by coincidence.
Nope.
That's not by coincidence. So we have to be that voice for Marcus to say, hey, please know we're here.
Yeah.
And we have this bond that's going to support you, to where he had to help him develop that confidence to make those difficult decisions.
Yeah. Because
he's not by himself in that.
This ain't the first one or the last one that he's going to have.
Exactly.
When you
but it makes the difference when you have you have a community around you that, you know, and again, that's why I think like with like the Bamas and the LSUs, they have some level of that, but it's different at Notre Dame because of the challenges and the difficulties that you have to navigate. And that's 100%. Why it's so important. And that's why I want to thank you guys for having us on, because to be able to bridge that gap between eras.
Yep, 100%.
It is critical that we do that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is fantastic for the fan base to see, because there's obvious frustration. You know, it's been 35 years, 88, fan base is frustrated. You're seeing the evolution of college football, and a lot of the fans feeling like, man, Notre Dame is not changing. They're not willing to change, to give Marcus Freeman, to give these players the best chance to win a national championship, and they have questions. And it's hard to sit here as a content creator every day and hear the frustrations
and defend it.
And defend it, because I feel like now I really have to watch myself, because sometimes I find myself getting defensive, trying to defend things or trying to defend Coach Freeman. And it's like, hold on, wait a minute, let me relax, because I'm not his bodyguard. It's my job to be objective. Let me stay objective. And so it is a difficult task, because it's a difficult situation, man. And when you got, and when you talk about the difficult decisions, this is not the last one, like you said. He's going to have to make some more. And 100%. We try to be one of the media outlets that talk Notre Dame that is very supportive, and understanding of the situation that he's in. And we tell people all the time, like, bro, this is Notre Dame. You know, especially because we're going to talk about these transfer quarterbacks, these one-year transfer quarterbacks. Like, fam, this ain't Wake Forest. This is not Duke. Nope. This is not Wisconsin. Like, yo, this is Notre Dame, bro. This heavy is the head that wears the crown of the quarterback is Notre Dame. Like, this is a totally different beast. I don't care how skilled you are physically or what you can do or how you got 12,000 yards, number 5 on the all-time passing. That don't mean nothing. When you step in, all of that gets erased when you become the quarterback at Notre Dame. Because there's only one thing at Notre Dame. That's the national championship, dog.
Yes, sir.
All that record stuff, you can have that. Matter of fact, if you look at the 4 guys in front of you on that passing yard list, ain't none of them national champions. So all of that means nothing. But I want to talk about this. Is the Notre Dame football, and you guys can answer this the way you want to. By no means am I trying to put you guys on the spot. Is the Notre Dame football program culture or viewed as culture by Notre Dame, or is the Notre Dame football program viewed as a commodity by Notre Dame? Because that's 2 totally different things. And I asked that because I think, you know, me being a hip hop head, you know, it's hard for a talent sometimes to wrap their heads around, like, dude, these record labels don't view you as a culture. They view you as a commodity.
Right.
And when you understand that going into it, you can do a better job of navigating things from a contractual standpoint and a career standpoint.
Right.
But as former players, and as you watch, you know, college football evolve and Notre Dame kind of take the back seat in some areas, do you feel like it's almost like Notre Dame is afraid to let Notre Dame football be as big as it could be? Like, if they really, I'll say this, when Lou Holtz, we talked about how the administration, you know, would hold back. Man, if Lou Holtz would have let y'all ride out 89 against Miami, y'all probably would have beat them dudes by 2 touchdowns.
I mean, Reggie, you was there. Reggie, you was there.
As a fan, that's frustrating. Like, dude, that should have been back-to-back national championships.
Agreed. I will say this.
Do you think that the football team will never be able to outshine the brand? Is that the idea, the guys in the
But
office is that the football team can't be bigger than the brand?
That shouldn't be the case, because let's be honest. You can say what you want, but the football team is the brand.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But they don't want to admit that, though.
Again,
they don't want to admit it.
And I get that, but they don't, whether they want to admit it or not, they know.
Right. Right.
But and this is more of my thought process, is like, you talk about the culture, and again, the culture is more than just the football; it's the athletic department.
Mm-hmm.
And again, and it doesn't have to be adversarial, because it comes back to relationships, building those relationships across the school, because there's a view. And again, it's not to that extent as it used to be, where, you just here because you play football, you just here because you play basketball, you just here. That's what we witnessed.
Yeah.
There's a culture now of, commercialism. I mean, you can say what you want, but Notre Dame has become commercialized because it is a brand. It is a commodity.
Right.
But as a student athlete, you have a choice.
Yep.
You can either, go that route, or you can, and I love, definitely want Oscar to chime on this, as well as Malik. But do you, as a player of a particular team and a coach of a particular sport, do you have to abide by that, or can you set that culture within yourselves as a team, as a program? And I look at women's basketball. I look at Muffin McGraw. They're about to dedicate a statue to her next weekend.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of things she had to do to establish that program.
Right. Yep.
And it didn't start with the administration. It didn't even start with those outside of the program. She said, "Hey, this is who we're going to be." Mm-hmm. And then she passed the baton to Coach Neil Ivey.
Yep.
But she first established, and she took a lot. I mean, she went through a lot.
Yeah. In
terms of like how to build the program. And I think with football, Marcus has to be a coach that can bring us back to, it's not about the brand as it is the culture of the program that you want to have.
Right. You know what? And to your point, Reggie, I feel like Coach Freeman is still developing that culture.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, he's still early on, in his tenure. So it's not like a Coach HOLTZ has been there for a decade, and kind of what you're going to get. He's still figuring it out, be it with coaching, being it with the type of player, being it with, as you said earlier, Reggie, relationships that he has on campus and throughout the Notre Dame community. All those things are really, really important. So I don't know at this point in the Freeman era if there's any delineation between Notre Dame football being its own brand and separating from the brand that is Notre Dame. You know what I mean? Style of play is a part of that. Obviously, Subway alumni is a big part of that. Presence on campus is a big part of that. And fair or not, perception is probably the biggest part of that. So it's hard to say. I mean, when we, Coach HOLTZ would always remind us, nobody's bigger than the lady on the dome. Remember him saying that, Reggie? Like Coach HOLTZ, devout Catholic, he loved Notre Dame. He loved the institution. He loved what it stood for, and all those things that were a part of what made Notre Dame Notre Dame. Now, that said, when you came across the street, when you walked across Juniper, it was a different lifestyle, brother. And those expectations were laid out. There was no question about it, and it was on us as players to live up to said expectation, whether it was that of the university or that of the football program. So I think it's a little bit too early to separate the two in the Freeman era?
It's difficult for me because, like you said, you pointed out, we did a show this week because there's always focus on building the roster with a new coach.
Sure.
Like it takes 2 to 3 recruiting classes for a coach to really get his guys in the building. And I was like, we did a full show on, while you're building a roster, it's 2 to 3 years to get the right staff as well. Because that staff is very important. Like, dude, don't take it light that Sark finally went from 8-9 wins and disappointment to a chance at winning a championship.
Yeah.
And Gary Patterson as an analyst, Paul Christ as an analyst, surrounded himself by veterans that have been head coaches, making changes on the coaching staff. Like, you have to find the right formula from a coaching staff point of view. And also you have to have Marcus Freeman, the way it seems that he wants to run his program is that he wants to empower his coaches. He doesn't want to be a dictator. He wants to empower his coaches to coach the room and kind of represent him to those young men as to how he wants the program to run. And when you don't have coaches that are properly representing you, then that becomes an issue.
And I'll say this. The other thing with Coach Freeman is that Marcus is like, he needs to, and this is just my opinion, be better to better understand the offensive side of the ball.
Yep, 100%.
Because if you look at a lot of the great coaches, head coaches, because this is the thing, there's head coaches and there's defense.
Can you clarify that, Reg? Can you clarify? Because I think Nick Saban is the defensive guy, but he understands the other side. Not so much as calling plays and scheme, but like clarify for the fans exactly what you mean by that.
So if you're because I think if your expertise is on one side of the ball and everybody now is more focused, on the offensive side. Mm-hmm. But if they don't have I just take Lincoln Riley out in USC. That offense is dynamic. Mm-hmm. And that defense is horrible. I'm sorry, it's just because he's not as locked in to understand that side of the ball.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And like I said, with Nick Saban, I remember again, championship, it was a SEC championship, and what's his name was the offense coordinator, Ole Miss head coach,
Lane
Kiffin.
Yeah. And
I remember Nick Saban going to him on the sideline and mouthing, "Run the ball."
Yep.
Because he's like, you got Derrick Henry, you want, again, because guys that are offense, they like to throw the ball around and get cute. But he knew enough to say, hey, we got this workhorse. You need to get the ball in his hands for us to be successful.
Correct.
Again, he didn't call the play, but he did say, you need to run the ball. And they wound up winning again. They were struggling, but he knows enough about on the opposite side of the ball as a head coach. I know success.
Yeah.
And situationally what we need.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So
like
red
going
zone versus, hey, out in the field, backed up. He understands the offensive side of the ball and say, hey, and he also understands his team, his personnel. And I think that's something that gets a little, lost on if you're on one side of the ball or the other. You see something happening and you don't really know, they're not successful, but is it the play not successful because of play calling, scheme, or the talent that you have?
Mm-hmm. Right.
You got to understand as a head coach.
To your point, and I've stand on this, and this might rub the wrong way. We're my wife and I, she went to Ohio State Law, so we were watching Notre Dame, Ohio State, and Audric is clowning. Dude is getting 7 yards a carry, and literally before that last series, the infamous series where we tried to get cute, with the mesh, I literally said, "Man, I hope we don't try to get cute here and just hand the ball off to Audric," right? Because Ohio State had no answer, and I wish Coach Day was watching this podcast, because I would say, yes, you are soft. We were running the ball down your throat. We tried to do too much with a tricky mesh point that created some issues, instead of just either getting under center or in shotgun with a sidecar running inside zone or power that was killing them. Then we come back and we try to screen their All-American defensive end. He almost picks it off. So now we're in 3rd and 15 with, to Reggie's point earlier, a mediocre passing game, which put us in a bad situation. We give the ball back to them with the defense, who hasn't really stopped anybody. The offense has just been doing their thing. So there's a part of that, growth as a head coach, that you have to understand situationally what your team needs. We didn't need to go 20 personnel in that situation and run some tricky mesh thing. We should have stayed in our 10 personnel. We should have handed the ball off to Audric, run the clock out, beat Ohio State, and now Notre Dame is in the conversation about the college playoff, right?
Yeah.
So, because obviously Michigan exposed Ohio State for what they were. They, they are not a physical, dominant Ohio State football team of the past. And you can say the same thing about another game that we lost, where we're trying to do too much. And as the head man, I had this experience, last year with my team. I met with our offensive coordinator at the bye week, and I'm like, look, man, less is more. We don't need to go out and be cute. It's not about the sexy. That's what I told him. It's not about the sexy, man. It's about, again, being physical and executing. And sometimes you don't need a whole bunch in your bag. You just need what is going to work. I mean, we ran 60, 61 trap. How many times in the game, Reggie? We ran 58, 59 wall. How many times in the game?
Run until you stop it.
Run until you stop it, man. My favorite call.
I will say that on that one play, I know, again, it wasn't a cute handoff situation. It was something else, and I'm going to leave it at that. So it wasn't I know it wasn't what you think it is.
But it wasn't what was needed, though, is my point.
What it was in line with what they were doing and having success with. It was just but to your point, execution.
Reg,
right.
I'll say this too. I have to give credit, because JT Tuamosa had pretty much been getting caught with that play all game.
Yep.
And the first round pick that he is, he said, yo, I'm just gonna crash. I'm gonna be aggressive. And if I get caught and they get outside me, so be it. But I'm about to crash this crap.
Yep.
And not give them time.
But it also goes back to the fact that we got 7 yards on the first play.
Right.
And we take the guy out.
Yeah.
We got
head coach
11 yards on the first play,
run that again,
and then 10 on the second play, and then that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Hey, man,
you throwing screens to seal the game, show that you scored.
As an offensive coordinator,
you throwing screens, you showing that you scared to win it.
As an offensive coordinator and a head football coach, my favorite play call is this: run it again, run it again, run it again. Because if I'm running the rock with number 7, who should be a day one guy, in my opinion, I'm no scout. If I'm running the ball with number 7, this guy's getting 6-7 yards of carry, run it again. If I'm running the ball with Reggie Brooks and he's getting 8 yards of carry, run it again. If I'm running the ball with Lee Becton with that dead leg move that nobody can tackle him on, run it again. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be, at that point, balance goes out the window. At that point, it's about what's working and what you can execute and get out of there with a win, against a team that we've not beaten in who knows when.
Yeah. And yo, Big O, let me tell you something. As I remember this as a kid, and to this day, I would go find this game on YouTube. You guys went up to East Rutherford to start the season off against Virginia. Sean Moore, like all big time receivers, like Terry Kirby, Chris Slade, like this Virginia team is on the come up. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the most disrespectful play calling I've ever seen from Lou Holtz. Lou Holtz, he was like, dude, we ain't even passing the ball for what?
Yep.
For what? Oh, this is the team that's supposed to be the up and coming squad? This is the team that everybody's loving that's supposed to be dangerous for us to start the season. Lou Holtz the whole first half was like, man, I don't even know the plays or what they were called. But I just know Virginia knew y'all were gonna run. And couldn't, it was absolutely, and there was, man, Virginia had all pros, all ACC players all over the field at every level. And it was absolutely, it was like one of the most disrespectful displays of play calling I've ever seen in a football game. Just the first half. And then Bob Greasy was like, hey, Notre Dame is they just see no reason to put the ball in the air. And I'm like, yo, this is so disrespectful. But this goes to you guys' point, right? This goes to your point. Which, when we talk about errors, look, there was so much on execution.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, when it gets tough, we're going to do what we do. And to see Notre Dame fans, we try to tell Notre Dame fans, because they get on Marcus Freeman like, oh, man, he's suffocating the offense. He just wants to run the ball and play defense. Man, let me tell you something. Oscar McBRIDE just told you, if they had lined up that last series against Ohio State and ran the ball, Notre Dame wins the game. Easily. All this cute stuff, let's be creative and open it up. Sometimes it doesn't take all that.
No.
Because look, when Preston Zinter got hurt, for Michigan said, you know what? We're just about to get physical. Because they knew they had the momentum. They were looking at their leader on the field. That was extra motivation. They didn't come out and get cute. Michigan said, oh, we're about to run through Ohio State.
Yep.
We got the momentum right now.
Well, and if you look at it, if you're trying to play championship level football, what are the two things that are absolutely necessary? Great defense and being able to do what on offense?
Run the ball.
Run the football. I mean, I mean, our defense was solid when we were there. Our offense ran the football. Coach Holtz would always say, look, there's three things that happen when you throw the football and two of them are bad. Mm-hmm. That was his thing. It's either
I will say this, and this is, just my opinion. We averaged close to 30, 36 points a game my senior year.
Yep.
And I really feel if Coach would have let Skip do a little bit more,
it would have been nuts. It would have been nuts. It would have been nuts. It would have been nuts.
I think about this all the time. As much as, like, again, people knew we were running the ball.
Yep.
And people don't know how good of a receiving core we had in terms of like Lake Dawson could catch anything.
Clint Johnson's gonna run by you.
Derek Mays had glue for hands. He had the biggest hands. And our tight ends were phenomenal. And again, all you did was catch touchdown.
That's it. 614, baby. T614.
But I say that again, I think you can have and I'm not big on balance because, again, the game has changed. But I do believe that it's about who controls the line of scrimmage and being efficient and effective running. Because, again, when it comes to backs, you got a limited number of carries in your body. Mm-hmm. And that's what I said. I love the fact that, our running backs, that Seven wasn't carrying the load the whole game. I don't want to go back to, but I do believe that you have guys. I always look at that yard per carry average. What do you do when you get the opportunity? Yeah. And that's one of the reasons I like Coach McCullough is that, he had watch out for Jeremiah Love. Mm-hmm. That kid got some feet on him, and when he gets a little more, body mass, he's gonna be hard.
He's gonna be a problem.
Yeah,
he kind of reminds me of Waters. Maybe it's because he's but he reminds me. The kid got feet like him. Ricky Waters. The only reason he's not in the Pro Football Hall of Fame today is that the media don't like him. Right. Because
I tell people they both wore 12, right? That was Ricky's number when he.
Yeah.
I
mean, you're talking about
Rick had the best. To this day I have not seen feet like Rick Waters, man. Like that dude.
I mean, he could do it all. return, receiving, running.
Yep.
I mean, like I said, there's no you can't tell me that brother doesn't belong in the Pro Football Hall of Fame with just
people don't remember, man. Rick was a receiver and a punt returner before he moved to running. People don't remember that. Like, he was a flanker, man.
Yeah. And that actually, to be honest with you, that actually helped him when he went to San Francisco.
Yep. That West Coast offense.
Yeah. Because he could line up out wide. He could line up in the backfield. I mean, you could line this cat up anywhere, and he's going to produce. He's going to plot out. I mean, he's going to produce, period.
100%.
Because, again, he stepped up right before, like, the guy that really opened it up for, like, the all-around back was Marshall Faulk.
Right.
Yeah.
But Ricky Waters was Marshall Faulk
before him. And to once again reference, you see, because this is Marcus Freeman is telling you, man, Marcus Freeman is one of the most, sometimes he's too honest. He's one of the most honest coaches when it comes to like what he says in the press conference. Marcus Freeman's been saying all year, like, dude, execution. And like he knows where the program needs to get to. And like everybody wants him to do all these creative things. It's like, dude, if we can just execute in key situations. I go back to the 1990 Tennessee game that I referenced, dude. Quarterback was rattled early, right? Tennessee was getting pressure on him early. Tennessee specifically shut Rocket down, whether he was outside or in the backfield, until his fourth quarter touchdown run. You know who Lou Holtz went to take the lead and then extend the lead in that fourth quarter? He put Ricky Waters in the I formation. And that offensive line, dude, one drive, I think it was like 8 straight runs, I formation. Ricky was just killing you. His feet, cutbacks. Dude, it was incredible. And they came right back with Ricky the next drive, hitting him out the backfield. And it was like, dude, there was nothing Tennessee could do. But that's just knowing what to go to and winning time. That's execution, man. That's
knowing your personnel.
Yes.
But on top of that, it goes also back to we were always expected to adapt. Again, in Coach Holtz, great coach, but he would just he'd call something. He expected execution because we did it in practice, and it was such the expectation was not just from him, it was from us. He's like said, hey, I have an expectation of you that is here. Don't you let that fall. You keep the expectation of not only you, but of your teammates. So like I said, execution, but you look at players today, but that all started with one thing: fundamentals.
Yes, sir.
We were a fundamentally sound football team that we knew, hey, we're gonna step the right way, we're gonna go the right way, and there's gonna be opportunities to adjust, but we're gonna adjust from a fundamental standpoint. If you see somebody starting to cross your face, what do you have to do to get him back?
Right.
And if the back knows, hey, if you can't get him back, hey, I just need to continue to press that outside hip, and then work for the cutback.
Yes, sir.
The ability to adapt. And just like I was talking about the receivers, they just do what they're told. Offensive linemen do what they're told. Well, you said to do this, and if somebody changes, they don't know how to react.
Right.
But if you're fundamentally sound, you know technique, you can adapt because hey, he can, like if you got a 3 technique on your shoulder, hey, there's only so much that he can do from that spot.
Right. Yep. And I know where my help is coming.
I know where the play is going, then I can adjust. But I've seen it. Like if you say, hey, you got to reach him. Well, if he comes inside, why are you stepping outside? You don't need to reach him. He's coming to you. Just butt him up and drive him out.
Yep. But fit and drive, baby.
These kids now, I'm sure Oscar can attest to this. You tell a kid to do something, and something changes. Do they adapt, or do they just, well, this is what coach told me to do? We need more football players instead of well, I'm a cornerback, I'm a quarterback, I'm a this, I'm a that. We need football players. We need to coach up and train football players, and not, I'm an outside corner, I'm a rover back. Can you just be a football player, bro?
Yeah.
Let's just start there. Be a football player. And again, if coach tells you something, be able to adapt. It doesn't go exactly as coach said it would.
Right. And be able to communicate that. You know what I mean? Like as a coordinator, former coordinator, yeah, there's things on my call sheet that I want to run, right? But I'm not in the game. You know what I mean?
Tell me what's going on.
They watch film too. They make adjustments too. So, my job as a player, is to communicate to my coach, hey, coach, I know we want to run this, but, he's playing it like that. I think this might work. And like
you said this about the offensive line blocking. Like I said, with Coach Moore, he would come and talk to me and Jerome, and he would ask us, what are we seeing?
Yep.
And if we couldn't, so he could go and make adjustments in the blocking the day of.
Yep.
And it wasn't something that was, mind blowing, because again, we had communicated. Oh, well, hey, the backers are running hard over the top, or the backers are sitting inside. They're not bubbling over.
Yep.
And they're shooting these gaps.
Yep.
But like you said, like Oscar said, as a player, you have to be able to see and see what's going on and relay that back to the coach, because a lot of times, especially in the offensive line, defense line, it's hard to see what's exactly going on in the trenches.
Yep.
And that's where games are won and lost, is up front. And if you don't have, like, I go back to our offensive line this year, and Oscar, maybe you've seen this, I've never seen an offensive line get a concussion. I've never seen that.
We got them. We just didn't have concussions back then.
Oh, okay. I go back to the Duke game. And that's what I said. When I see a team physically get beat, that just gets me at my core.
Mm.
And Zeke Correll was just obliterated.
Yeah.
He had 3 false snaps, legal procedures, because they had him so shook. And again, I've never seen that, because like I said, if somebody's going after one guy, our offensive line, like, no, you're not going to single us out.
Yeah, we coming.
They may blow a play, but they're gonna bust your behind and let you know, no, you don't gang up on none of our boys. If you come for one, you come for all.
No doubt.
And
what do we say?
Stuff like that.
I am because of us, brother.
And little stuff like that says, hey, no, we are. That's why the Joe Morris Award is it's beyond anything else. It's not an individual award.
Mm-hmm. Nope.
And football is the consummate team sport.
Yep.
And that's what we're moving away from that. And it's about scheme and you got to do it this way. No.
Mm.
Yeah.
You got to do it for each other.
Yes, sir.
That's just it's a byproduct now versus. And I've seen this thing has been out on social media that Coach HOLTZ says, like, what is the difference between guys, between 50 years ago and now? And it was like, of commitment and doing it for somebody else versus, rights and, personal, satisfaction. It's like, no, I ain't trying to hear that.
Nope.
We are here for each other.
Yep.
And that's just on a life basis.
Yeah. But that was the highest level of accountability, though, bro. Like
accountability.
Like if you think about it, as much as there was a level of fear, and I'm not ashamed as a 51-year-old to say that, as a 17, 18, 19-year-old kid,
I'm still
there was a level of fear. That there was a level of fear, in not getting my job done. But the biggest fear was letting my brothers down, man.
Yeah.
Mm.
That was the biggest thing. Like if I know we're running 58, 59 wall, we get that call in the huddle. We weren't up tempo. We weren't no huddle. We're in the huddle. We're looking at each other. If it's I right 58 wall before we break the huddle, I'm like, Reggie, get my hip. You know, like he knew I was gonna make my block. He knew there was gonna be an edge because I wasn't gonna let him down. Like I refused to let him down. And, you know, yeah, man. And you know, and Justin Hall, you know, Justin was climbing my hip. As soon as I felt Justin, I'm off. I'm going to the next guy.
Okay. Oh, you know? That's another thing. Again, I'm sorry. I gotta say this.
Yeah.
When did it become okay to leave a block before you knew a double team? When did
never worry the 15th is when it would happen. Never worry. Never worry, dog. Never worry. Stay on your guy until you feel your boy hip you off.
I mean, I just remember you guys would push each other out and take over.
Yes.
They would push you up to the next level. Yes. And you would not move until you would not let that double team go until you were knocked off of it.
Well, I knew if he knocked me off, if he could physically knock me off, I knew he had him.
Yeah.
It's basic.
How many times do you see it where like they're splitting double teams because they'll just go up to the next level and they'll go up to nothing.
Nothing.
They'll go block nothing. And this goes back to what I was saying. It's like, okay, have some common sense. It's like, if there's nothing there, keep blocking at the point of attack. Hell, if you can, take him back there to the safety.
That's what Coach told him.
Yeah, don't come off that block until you have somebody else to block.
Take him and put him in the linebacker's lap so the linebacker has nowhere to go anyway. You know what I mean? So different mindset, man. You know, I love this game. You know, I tell people all the time, this game saved my life. You know, being a part of, you know, Notre Dame and that storied history, and then to be in the locker room with, you know, Reggie Brooks and Jerome Bettis, you know, came up on the same trip, and Bryant Young and Scott Kolakowski and Troy Ridgely and Chris Zorich and those guys. Like, I still remember, you know, Chris coming in and talking to our freshman team, our first team meeting as a whole. We come into camp, you know, we had been in freshman camp, you know, and, you know, we come in, you know, freshmen are sitting at the top, and then, you know, Reggie and those guys just below us as sophomores. You got Derek Brown and Tony Smith and those guys down one more level. And at the bottom, you got, you know, Chris Zorich and, you know, Mike Helt and, you know, all those guys down at the bottom. And, you know, Coach Holtz comes in real quick, says a couple things, you know, and then he's out. And then next up is Chris Zorich. And I'll never forget Chris saying, look, we know you guys are all Americans. We know you guys come from all these different places, but you're at Notre Dame now. And we do things a certain way. You will get your hair cut. You will not wear earrings in the meeting room. You will work your butt off. You will get your grades squared away, or you won't be here. And that came from Chris. That didn't come from Coach Holtz. That came from a player-led program. You know, if there's one question I have for my Notre Dame little brothers is, where are our leaders? Where are the guys that are holding guys accountable beyond just the coaches? Because player-led programs are the championship level programs. You know, when you got guys like Reggie Brooks coming to the locker room and saying, hey, we need to get this stuff squared away. Or a guy like Demetrius Dubose saying, I'm tired of this mess. Let's go. Like, that's when we were like, you know what? My brother needs me to step up right now. It ain't going to be me. It ain't going to be me.
This goes back to that culture, our commodity.
Yep.
The culture is defined. Yeah. But the head coach expresses the culture.
Yep.
But the players enforce the culture.
And they embrace and enforce. Absolutely.
And I think that you're spot on there. Oh, it's where are those that's going to say, hey, this is who we are.
Yeah, enough's
not
enough.
Based on,
enough's enough.
Yeah, not based on what it looks like in the, you know, in you know, how I look. It's what do you do when nobody's watching?
Yes, sir.
Because see, nobody's watching in practice. So are you getting it done? Because it's going to play out on the field.
Yes.
And you were talking about, I was at that game in the Meadowlands, and my freshman year, that was my first college game. I'm in freaking New York in Giant Stadium.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa. But the thing about it, and to O's point, I remember, like I said, when I first got there, when the upperclassmen came in, basically it's like, all right, Rook, sit down, shut up, and we're gonna show you how we do this.
Yes, sir. Yep.
You know, and I soaked it all up. You know, I had Anthony Johnson, my brother Ricky Waters. You know, I had guys like Braxton Banks. Those were the guys in the running back room. And then, you know, on the defensive side of the ball, it's the Pat Terrells, it's the Corny Southalls, it's the Todd Lights. I remember Todd Light taking me under his wing, and I didn't want to play defense back for nothing. He said, if you're gonna be over here, you're gonna know what you're doing.
Yep.
So every Sunday, he made me sit by him to watch film with him with the defense.
Yeah.
And he would explain. And I'm like, you know, because I played, the last time I had played defensive back was freshman year in high school. I came in as running back, but he's like, hey, if you're gonna be on my defense, you're gonna know what you're doing. So
100%.
So you come here, because again, I was back there with Tom Carter, and TC will tell you, he came in as a quarterback.
Yep,
But
sure
you
did.
adapt. That's the ability to adapt and going, I don't want to let my team down. But we had leadership that said, hey, this is who we are. And if you're going to be on this team, you're gonna adjust.
Yep.
And you look at, you know, today it's about, well, the team got to adjust to me. I'm an individual.
Nope.
No. If you're gonna play, I look at, you know, the Pelicans, all the stuff that's coming out about Zion Williamson.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what's the difference? You look at a LeBron James, discipline and accountability.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. 100%.
If I want to be a part of something, who's the leadership with the Pelicans that are telling Zion, are sitting him down? I don't care how big you are. This is you gonna be on here. This is what you're gonna do.
Yeah, bro. Yep.
And I think, you know, you're spot on. I don't know who that is,
right,
at Notre Dame right now.
Yo,
and that's not to say they're not there.
No, I'm not saying it's not, but it's like,
but
you know,
who are they? It's not just the guys that take the pictures as the captains.
Yeah.
You know, like I wasn't a captain, but I was always vocal. You know, Reggie wasn't a captain, but he was vocal. You know, Jerome wasn't a captain, he was vocal. You know, Duloc wasn't a captain, he was vocal. You know, like we had leaders. Justin Hall, he wasn't a captain, he was vocal. Like
standards.
You know, the standard is the standard, and as Nick Saban always says, it takes what it takes. Like, you're trying to be great, man. If you're trying to be a champion, there are no choices. You know, you don't get to choose. You get to pick and choose when you ball and when you give it everything you've got. Like, you know, I played with a broken jaw Reggie's senior year, and led the team in touchdown catches, and we didn't throw the ball. I only have 4 touchdown catches. But I played with a broken jaw. I practiced with a broken jaw, and still Coach HOLTZ was on my ass if I couldn't block Devo. You know, it was the standard was the standard, man, and there were no excuses.
No excuses
as to why it didn't happen. You either make it happen or you don't.
You remember that chart? How we win.
Hey, man, I use it today with my football program. The plan is infallible, brother.
And it has not changed.
Nope, it has not. It has not.
Lucky Lefty Podcast, the OGs, Reggie Brooks and Oscar McBride. Man, we appreciate you guys for joining us so much. Before we get out of here, one more thing we have to ask you guys. Your thoughts on going back to the transfer portal versus just developing quarterbacks, and then also how important will these next 2 hires be? The strength and conditioning coach and the wide receiver coach, especially since you've been talking about establishing culture and finding the right coaching staff for Marcus Freeman.
Yeah.
I'm going to start because the most important hire is that strength and conditioning coach.
No question.
That is the most vital hire Marcus will make this year or for the next year. Period.
Absolutely.
You know, because again, if because that's the individual. We had one of the best, Jerry Schmidt.
Yep.
He's at Oklahoma now.
Still doing it at Oklahoma.
Yeah. And it comes back to the ability to, again, that's where it starts, because that's who they spend the most time. The players spend the most time with the strength and conditioning coach. That's who instills that no quit, that discipline, to where you're on time for every workout, and if you slip up an inch, because they're the ones that on your behind, and then the players on your butt. If you're supposed, because we always had a workout partner, and if you were not there with your workout partner,
that's a problem.
You got to deal with the same consequences.
Yep.
Because it requires accountability of you knowing where that person is.
Yep. And my partner was Demetrius, man. We were they call us the Breakfast Club because we worked out at 6:30 in the morning. So me, Demetrius, and we were in there with Schmitty, with Billy Ray, with Matty Rock. We had all three of them. And sometimes it was just the two of us. So, you know, I go from, you know, bench pressing, you know, 330 as a freshman. I come into my sophomore year, I'm benching 415, you know, and that was all work.
Yeah.
All
we never like maxed out.
No.
So I left, I was benching 405.
Yep.
You know, and running back. And like I said, so when I got to doing the 225, we always lift for endurance, strength endurance. So you were doing high reps and, you know, start off low weights, but the weight would continue. So you would never max out.
Yeah.
And that's what I said. You know, that was a constant. But if you come in there and that, you know, I made the mistake as a freshman of winter conditioning. I actually thought that, hey, you know, it's snow on the ground. It's a lot of snow come from Oklahoma. They can't be having class today.
Okay.
But you know, this is my freshman thinking. I did go over the workouts. Like, I can work out though, but I couldn't walk the class. That was
you
not
got that phone call from Miss Jan at Coach Holtz's office.
Yeah, you need. No, I went over there to go work out, and I didn't get the phone call. I got sent from workouts
to class.
No, to Coach Holtz.
Oh, that's even worse.
So it wasn't okay. So basically, I couldn't work out until after I saw Coach Holtz. And needless to say, didn't miss too many more classes unless it was authorized. Because after Coach Holtz chewed me a new one, then I was sent back to work out, and then subsequently told, you will be working out at this time. So it was about like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, that was the worst.
Yeah, because it's snow, and I'm on South Quad, and I got to walk all the way to Loftus.
Oh,
and you had to be in the weight room, ready to go
at your time.
5. So you had I had to leave at like start walking at like 4:30. And it's pitch black. Cold.
You were a Fisher, right, Reggie?
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
Before you guys go, I want to let the fans show you some love. Super chat. Thank you, Mark the Glasses, for the super chat. Appreciate all the content, plus these two OGs. I got Jay Grizz wants to show love. Epic, keep spinning it different. Feels like we're in the LL barbershop sitting amongst 4 legends, chirping it up. And then Mark 1 says, hi, guys. Hey, all you players should get with Freeman and get passes for the sidelines. I enjoy hearing all of this.
Bro, I gotta say real quick though about the transfer portal. I'm actually really disappointed in the NC2A and how they've been. I'm not gonna say they're not involved, because obviously they're involved, but I feel like it's been the wild, wild west, man.
Mm-hmm.
There's multiple transfers. Guys are, like the kid that left Central Florida, went to Oklahoma for a year. Now he's at Oregon. I just saw it today on Instagram. Not Gabriel's at
Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah, and now he's at Oregon. Like, so, like, put some caps on it. Like, put some caps on this NIL money. I mean, even the NFL has salary cap. You know,
this was all by, at least in my opinion, this all by design by the NCAA. They wanted this to be such a train wreck that it would just go off the rails because you look at it when NIL, they've been fighting NIL for decades.
Yeah,
they've had decades to address this, and when it came down and they didn't have another choice, they just threw it over there. But they allowed the transfer portal so that it would become such, they knew what was going to happen. They knew it was going to be such a cluster. So those two together, because again, I think if you just only had NIL and you had the original transfer rules, it wouldn't be as so chaotic.
Right.
I believe it's like they added the transfer portal specifically to create such disarray.
Yeah, it's nuts, man. But here, let me say this though. On the flip side of that, what I do like about the portal is the parity that is created in college football. We were a victim of that, like Marshall. Like, Marshall had several 5-star players, a couple transfers from Alabama. Like, you do have guys who get opportunities. You got guys that are Division II, Division III coming out of high school. I think Oklahoma State had a receiver, right? Their top receiver was a guy that was a Division III receiver, was a Division III All-American, and now he's starting for Oklahoma State, playing in the Big 12 championship game. So that side of it, I see, and I think that's a great thing. And I would never begrudge these kids for making money because they are being, they're being used. Yeah. They're owned by colleges and universities. So for you to make money on your name and your image and your likeness, I have nothing bad to say about that. I just feel like there needs to be a lot more governance than we're seeing from the NC2A, which to me kind of exposes the NC2A for what they are. They are not a governing body. Right. Their power is not based on their ability to govern. Their power is based on people who run their mouths and people who are disgruntled, and that is where their strength comes from. So shout out to the kids that are leveling up, the kids that are D2, D3 that are finding themselves in D1 situations, to the kids that are bouncing around from program to program. You're going to take a pay cut when you get to the league, one, and two, is saying a lot about who you are and your character to your future employees on Sunday. So be wary, be wary of that.
And it's not about being loyal to a program,
right?
Going back to what I said, what is your commitment to your teammates?
Correct.
And that's my only thing. I have no problem with the portal, other than it's provided opportunities for individuals to come and prey on these young men and women that don't know.
Yep.
And I think they said it was about 40% of the kids that go into the portal will never play another play or never participate in college athletics again. Their scholarship is gone, and no one tells them about this. They're only telling them, hey, you can get more money if you go here. And it's also hurting the current high school crop of kids, because if you're not this or that, you're not getting recruited.
Bro, if you're not a 5-star, and I can speak to that as a high school head coach, if you're not a 5-star or a 4-star recruit coming out of high school, you're not even getting a look, because, college coaches are going to the portal first, right? The portal, they go to JUCO, because those are the guys who bounce back for whatever reason, or maybe guys that were 5-star guys who didn't have the grades and needed another semester to get things right. If you're not one of those highly regarded, highly touted, high media praise type guys with 4 or 5 stars, it's a long road for you in high school right now. So, conversely, a lot of kids that would normally have been like a D1 guy, maybe Reggie when we were coming out. Those guys are D2, D3 guys. We had our fair share of All-Americans. I mean, I was an All-American, you were an All-American, but like the guys that, maybe weren't All-Americans but could flat play, those guys aren't getting the same looks. So what I would say, if there's young people out there listening, or young football players, man, take care of your academics.
Yeah.
Take care of your academics first, because that is the separator, right? When you're going into D2 and then, that maybe can offer you some money and maybe some merit money, D3 doesn't offer any athletic scholarships at all. You need to have your academics in check, because if you don't, you're at a loss, man. If mom and dad can't pony up, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, what are you gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
You're either going to JUCO, not that that's bad, but you're going to JUCO or you're going to the military. So take care of your academics, peeps.
Man, couldn't have said it better myself. Lucky Lefty podcast. We have one more super chat. Mark 1 sends in. Thank you, Mark. Reggie, I remember the Penn State game. You won the game in the snow. I grew up in South Bend watching all this during my shorter years. I appreciate it, Mark.
I was not by myself.
Let me say this, Mark. Reggie cannot catch.
That is not true. That is not true.
Bro, Reggie's hands, I believe, he was born with his hands on backwards. This man that week, be honest, Reggie, how many flare routes did you drop that week of practice?
Okay, let's be clear on this.
Oh, wait.
But there's precedence here. I did not wear my contacts in practice.
Okay, all right. Here we go.
Ask me this: how many balls did I drop in the game? Whatever
Not
ball was
one.
thrown my way.
Not one. I give you that, dog. I
didn't say anything about it because I didn't think anything about it. But I'll admit, like I said, I didn't catch Jack in practice. I get
Nathan.
I mean, nothing. Nothing. Flat out. I will not even sugarcoat that. And what was crazy is like during my pro day, like that was because coach said something about it and that got out. So the guy he was throwing they came to Notre Dame in pro day, and you start throwing the ball and you do a couple of you got your swing route, your outs, your options. We got one that said boom, go in verticals up the seam. And first of all, I thought maybe he thinks I'm short, so he's throwing the ball high. And I mean, this dude was throwing the ball so damn crazy. It was like I'm turning around, I'm like flip, and like to everybody else, he was putting it on him, and I'm like, and he told me after the workout and I caught everything, and he's like, I was trying to throw you every bad ball possible because we were told that you couldn't catch. But I had my contacts in and snagged everything. But I was like, dang, it's amazing how media, a narrative can go left again if you don't address it. But I never told anybody that I didn't wear contacts in practice. I wore them in the game because I was like, okay, I need them in the game. Bad form on me.
Thanks.
But yeah, it was bad. It was bad.
One more question for you, Reg.
We used to give him a heart. Reggie was lovely, man.
What do you hear about more, the Michigan touchdown run or the catch?
It's about even. Be honest with you, and actually people get them confused. Like you got knocked out against Penn State. Like no, that was a different play. Yeah, it was actually a 2-point conversion, not a touchdown, because we used our 3-point, our 2-point play to score the touchdown for Jerome, and we kind of did a little something on the fly, and that kind of like to my point about adjusting. We adjusted to say, okay, hey, we here's the route we're going to run, and in all honesty, as I said, I was not in that progression at all. I mean, at all.
At all.
We were trying to get it to Irv on
The tight end,
tight end whip, and I was supposed to take the safety and get him to come over. And Aaron Taylor again, he said, because he missed his block because Rick was not supposed to be going right at all. This is we were on the right hash mark. So the play the Bucs had, we were going to go to the field. We wanted to go to Irv on the left side. Well, Rick AT missed his block, and Rick got flushed right instead of being able to drop back and look to the left. And literally, that was his only option.
Yeah, AT
his only option.
He says that he gets part of the credit for that catch because he missed his guy.
Yeah. Who does that? Who takes credit? I screwed up. So I'm the reason he got that ball because I screwed up. What?
And Milton fan says, "What do you guys like about the Freeman era?"
Go ahead.
And for sure, being out here on the West Coast, I think the fact that he's opened things back up to us as the older guys that that those doors were closed. Being on the sideline, coming together, bringing us together, inviting us to be a part of the experience in spring games, making it a celebration, because to be honest, the football game is the last thing I'm coming back for. I'm coming back to see Reggie and to see Lee Beck and to see all my boys, Stroud and all the fellas. I'm good to come to the tailgate. I got a house in South Bend. Me and the wifey, we'll go to the crib and watch the game on TV, man. It's all about community and brotherhood. So, one spring game, we had a little reunion at my house, man. We had, BY came back and, Mike Brennan from the 87 team came and, Dean Lytle. And, we had so many guys just at the crib, just hanging out, talking and laughing, smoking cigars and sharing stories. And I mean, it was beautiful. I mean, we, Reggie came to the house, we had a good time, man. And that is a part of Coach Freeman wanting to have that culture where those guys that are currently playing have access to us and we have access to them. Having that extended family at Notre Dame is everybody on this podcast knows is one of those things that makes us different. And shout out to Coach Freeman for that. Love him for that, man, because that's not something that we had.
Enough said. That's exactly I couldn't have said it better.
Man,
that's
exactly
that is why he opened the door for the former guys. I mean, guys genuinely feel like they're wanted back at Notre Dame, and that's huge.
Yep.
That's the best way to end this podcast. Thank you guys for joining us. We're going to be giving you these type of shows throughout the off season leading up to the bowl game. Hey, stay with us next week. I think there will be a decision coming this weekend with a lot of the guys that visited Notre Dame. So we'll know whether or not we get some more commitments via the transfer portal. Look, guys, when Riley Leonard pulls the trigger, he has possible visits to Auburn and Ohio State. There's great intel over Irish Breakdown on his visit. And pretty much it seems like Notre Dame has kind of locked things up. But we'll see. We'll see how things go. Bo Collins, Josh Kelly, that's intel on their visits as well. And Notre Dame still looking. I think R.J. Oben is on campus right now, the defensive end from Duke. And like Reggie said, the way the Duke defensive line whipped Notre Dame, heck, he must be pretty good because he definitely was putting it on Notre Dame in that Duke Notre Dame. So
dude up, bro, just catching hands like.
And yo, like you guys said, I totally agree. Reg, the NCAA after they lost, they in the courts, they just decided to throw a tantrum. That's it. They didn't even want to get in and make things right as things evolve. And I think that's what Jack Swarbrick kind of said. I'm gonna take a step back because we don't know how this thing is gonna go. We're not about to jump in as Notre Dame. into this fray right now. And with people Baco coming in, hopefully there will be some guardrails put on this thing.
Peter's from our area too.
Right.
Yeah.
And hopefully, you know, he'll work with Marcus Freeman to bring things to a better place with the Notre Dame football program. So like I said, we'll have more news on the transfer portal. National A. There are still some high school kids that are going to commit on the 20th as well. I know transfer portal will make you forget about the high school kids, but National Signing Day is coming up on the 20th of December. We'll be locked in with that.
How crazy is that? That's just gets like, oh
it's
yeah,
an afterthought. Yeah, it's an afterthought.
That's so sad. That is so sad.
Crazy. Hey, love y'all, fellas.
Hi, guys.
Bye,
Notre Dame fans, we appreciate you once again. Big round of applause for the OGs, Reggie Brooks, Oscar McBRIDE for joining us right here, Lucky Lefty, for MALIK ZAIRE, who had to take the kids out. I'm Shaun Davis, man. We thank you for joining us and giving us some of your time on a Saturday afternoon. The Lucky Lefty podcast.
All good.
Have a great day.
All my inventory for the football team. Glad the wifey was here to help me. So
shout out. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Hey, mad love and respect, fellas. Peace.
All right, guys.
Absolutely, man. Spin it different, guys.